person that's able to make a difference. The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found on flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
It's Big O. Protect your home the way we do with Slomin's home security, folks. And if you want some great news, how about this? A free doorbell camera. That's right. The first 40 Big O listeners who dial 1-800-ALARM-ME will get this limited time offer of a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone with installation of your Slomin's Shield. And that's not all, folks. Slomin's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 Big O listeners to call 1-800-ALARM-ME, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin's Shield. Keep your family safe like we do here in the Alzigari family. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Offense to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Andy, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Canesware at Miami Fanware in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at canesware.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canesware, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty, welcome aboard. Yes, you know where we're at. It's Thursday. That means we are here at Hialeah Park Casino. Yes, we're in the second floor poker room, so come on out and join us. Sean and myself are out here. We got some great guests joining us today. We got a lot of good sports talk, obviously, a lot of things to talk about in the world of sports. Obviously, the day after the signing day, or the early signing day period, and we'll talk to Andrew Ivins at 11 a.m. from 247 Sports, or 24/7 Sports, whatever you want to call it, and he'll give us the breakdown on everything that Miami is doing. Sean was just reading out to me some of the players that are leaving and hitting the transfer portal and going to other places, including Pope, who went to Jackson State with Dion.
Yeah, it looks like Mark Pope went to Jackson State. Wideout D. Wiggins is off to Louisville. Linebacker Bradley Jennings is going to Indiana. And safety Gervin Hall, he's reuniting with Ephraim Banda, at Utah State.
Oh, yeah. Go miss tackles over there, bro. Go choose not to make tackles, Gervin Hall over there. That was the low light history of the Miami Hurricanes right there. The lowest of low lights was Gervin Hall choosing not to tackle somebody. That's right there, the ultimate display of Manny Diaz's tenure here with the Miami Dolphins. So Andrew Ivins will join us at 11. Joe Shad will stop by at 11:30. Who knows? Steve Calabro will probably stop by at some point also with his Wise Guys picks of the week, which, by the way, he's doing pretty good with those Wise Guys picks. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look, I got it already right there. I got it on the first one. Yeah, you got it on the first one. There you go. Anyway, so the spammers are already working on the chat board, but they don't realize that Sean and I are on the case. So there's no way they're going to get away with anything. So good day yesterday, obviously, on the show, as we announced that Cameron Wolf is now part of the family. He officially starts on Tuesday. But obviously we welcome the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, which is also a proud new sponsor of our program. And they also are part of the family now. So that is good. Looking forward to it. We'll give you a date soon when we're going to be broadcasting from the police department. So that is going to be a lot of fun. I'm just wondering where they're going to put us in the police department. I mean, knowing if they're really smart, they'd probably put my ass in the holding cell. You know what I'm saying? That's probably where I belong.
I got to set up early, so I'm going to be in the holding cell a lot longer than you.
Yeah, well, no, but you'll be outside in the hallway, and then I'm in the holding cell.
You got internet in the holding cell?
I don't know. They're going to have to run some lines for us or something.
What is in the drunk tank?
Yes. We can interview the drunks while we're there. That would be really entertaining too. Oh man. Boy. So yeah, we're looking forward to it, and and growing that partnership with the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. Because
the first day you're meeting me there, right? I'm not just rolling in the equipment by myself. And
no, I got to meet you there because I don't even know where we're gonna go. I don't even know. Do they have to fingerprint us and take pictures, and do they have to take our blood and run background checks and all kinds of stuff?
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? They're taking toe prints and everything for me. I have no idea.
Oh boy.
So I would imagine that this is going to be a process. You know what I'm saying? No, but anyway, so it's good. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we welcome them aboard. And of course, any of you out there, any sponsors that want to be a part of our family, like Hialeah Park, as you see above me and around me, Hialeah Park, a proud sponsor. Well, Hialeah, I mean the Brunetti family and Frank Fiore and Steve Calabro, they've been, strong supporters of us for a long, long, long time. I've been working with Frank Fiore, I don't know, nearly 20 years doing stuff with him at different stations. So I appreciate that. And obviously this relationship is growing big time. And we've got, we're going to be doing a boxing night out here, man. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, can't wait.
I know that it's going to be like on ESPN and stuff like that, but we're going to have cameras there ourselves, our own cameras. And so we will have the boxers, we will have the trainers on, we will have the promoters on. It's going to be a great night of boxing, and there's more boxing to come here at Hialeah. But Friday, January 28th, don't make any plans, folks. We need you down here at Hialeah Park for Johnny Argelados versus Michelle Banquez, and George Romero versus Lucas Rafael Baez. Ariel Perez de la Torre taking on Gianni Garcia, and Abraham Martinez taking on Orestes Velasquez. And a lot of these boxers are young, up-and-coming boxers. Argelagos is 8-0 with 4 KOs, ranked number 15 in the WBA. Michelle Banquez is 19-1, 13 KOs. So we got a bunch of good fighters. George Romero is 21-0 and 1, 13 KOs. So it's going to be, there's some real quality fighters that you're going to have an opportunity to see as they're up and coming. Young guys. Ariel Perez de la Torre, La Máquina, as they call him, is 6-0 with 5 knockouts. So we're talking about some guys that have got some skills, and this is a great opportunity for you. Well, I'm sure we'll give away some tickets for it, but this is a great opportunity to catch some of these young boxers that you can say, man, I saw him at Hialeah Park a few years back when he was really young and up and coming, and now he's a star and that kind of stuff. So you may have a couple of future stars here that you get an opportunity to see. So whether it's obviously the gaming, whether it's all the slot machines downstairs, which, by the way, they have the best takeout for their slots. They have the best payouts, okay, and in the whole eastern seaboard, pretty much. So easily Florida. You don't care about the eastern seaboard because you're not traveling anywhere. But anywhere in Florida, they've got the best payouts, so you can enjoy the machines. And we're out here in the second floor poker room, which is just absolutely gorgeous. So come on out. We got the boxing, we got the champions, simulcast center, all of that, and eventually they'll fix the whole sports betting thing, and we'll get the sports betting back, and we'll add that to the mix. They've got what's it called? What's the Santa thing called again? That
would be Santa's Enchanted Forest.
Santa's Enchanted Forest. They've got out here also. I mean, they're doing all kinds of things. It's like they're taking it to another level to become, a real entertainment destination. So good stuff for Santa's, so you can enjoy the family out here. There you go. Where are all the strippers at? Gus 1388 is. Well, what can I tell you, Gus? We're gonna, you got to give me some time. You never know. You might have a gentleman's club that might be sponsoring this program. We might be broadcasting live at a gentleman's club down the line. You know what I'm saying? So that's always a possibility. By the way, I wanna tell my wife's boss, okay, that I'm wearing the shirt today because I was given a shirt. This is the Vipers from Felix Varela, which is where my wife works. So as you see, the Vipers. So I'm wearing my Vipers shirt today. There you go. There you go. So I got my Vipers shirt on. So I just it's a really cool shirt actually. It's pretty groovy. My wife was wearing one. I said, "When are you getting me one of those, man?"
It is very nice,
Isn't
I like
it? I like
Forest
it, man.
green.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I just want her to know. So don't fire my wife. So I'm wearing my shirt and proudly. Obviously, I'm a Viper supporter, even though obviously I'm a Hialeah T-bred through and through. But my wife has been at Varela forever, so obviously we got to support Varela, and we are Felix Varela fans also.
Good athletics there, Varela.
Yes, they got pretty decent athletics.
Okay, I was wondering because
not like what
not Miami Northwestern.
No,
not that, but they're good.
No, but they do a decent job over there.
Because I haven't heard a whole lot of Varela.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't
think
think
like Miami Varela or is it somewhere like that, or how do they say it?
Yeah, it's Varela. Yeah, Miami Varela. Yeah,
Miami Varela. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I haven't seen them at that, upper echelon there. But yeah, no. But either way, good school and good people. So just in support of Varela, just in case there, just a little love for Varela High. Giovanni says, P.S. Adios, Urban Meyer. More time in Ohio clubs ahead of free time. Yeah, that Urban Meyer situation, that was amazing. I didn't see that coming, that they would fire him overnight like that. Maybe in the the offseason, I was thinking you have to fire him. That's where I was expecting, like, okay, we'll get through this mess. But the problem is it became one story after another, and then the punter, Josh Lambo, comes out with that story that he kicked him, and I'll kick you whenever I want to kick you, and all that crap, and other players saw it and all that, and obviously that must have been. I was talking to Sean that something like this probably happened behind the scenes. Shad Khan probably called Josh Rambo and probably said, "Hey, Josh, talk to me, okay? I apologize if anything wrong went on, but I need to know, what happened." And I'm sure Josh Lambo told him the story. And then he said, "Give me a couple names. Give me some guys that were around that saw it." And I'm sure Josh gave him one of those names or a couple of them. And then I'm sure the owner then contacted one of those players as a witness and said, "Hey, this is between us. Nobody will ever find out. But I need to know that I have the right coach and the right environment for you as a player." Did you see Urban Meyer kick Josh Lambo? And the guy probably said, "Yes, sir, he did." Said, "Well, thank you. This is all between us. Nobody will ever find out." And then he probably went on and had a conversation with Urban Meyer that last night. And Urban had his explanation. And Urban is a habitual liar. This is the lowest of scumbags that there is out there. Don't kid yourselves at all. The problem is in college football a lot, they have no scruples and they don't care. And in the NFL, they don't care. So they do these stupid things because football is Teflon in this country. We allow football programs and professional teams to get away with things that no corporation could ever get away with. None could ever get away. The things that happen on NFL teams and college teams, regular corporations would end up closing down. Their stocks would crash 50 to 75%. It would be catastrophe for a lot of corporations in this country. But football's Teflon. So football will deal with Lawrence Taylor. Football will deal with Urban Meyer. Football will deal with, you name it, dude. They'll give that tight end from Florida, what's his name, that just retired, and Jordan Reed. They'll give him, I think it's Jordan Reed, right? They'll give him, 87 chances after he's had 86 concussions because they don't care about him. The Dallas Cowboys will bring Brent Jones back. I believe that's the name of the lineman that killed his teammate in an alcoholic incident, and bring him back the next week on the sidelines. Oh, oops, my bad. The NFL will, allow Leonard Little to kill a woman, DUI, vehicle manslaughter, and then just slap him on the hands with an 8-game suspension. And none of this ever hurts the league. None of it ever hurts college football, because college football takes chances on all kinds of shady individuals. And they give second and third chances to shady individuals. The things that they do in the NFL and college would not allow you to get a job again in the real world. But in football, it's all Teflon. In football, because we're so addicted to the sport, because we pray at its altar, we allow it to do whatever it wants. And we sweep it under the rug of boys will be boys. And so that's why a scumbag like Urban Meyer, who has over 30-something arrests at Florida, probably lied about his health scare, and then, appears at Ohio State, and he's hiding another guy that is a wife beater, girlfriend beater, whatever it was, and he's able to just skate through all of this stuff. And then how's he rewarded? With a huge contract with the Jags. And how does then he reward the Jags and everybody else? By putting his fingers in some holes,
And before that, it was the strength and conditioning coach.
Right.
Remember the one
Right,
that had
yeah.
all
The strength and, yeah.
That was the first thing.
That was the first thing, yeah. Exactly. And Tim Tebow. You know what I mean? And not to lump Tim Tebow with this scum in all the way, but it's just another thing that he did that just disrespected the sport and all the players that are on that roster. Because Tim Tebow did not deserve an opportunity in the NFL. As nice as he is, doesn't matter how many kids he circumcised, no matter how many hospitals he built in the Philippines, none of that matters. He can't play in the NFL. And he didn't deserve anyone else's opportunity, but that loser did it. And so this is what we've created, ladies and gentlemen. That's why Joe Paterno will hide Sandusky. This is what happens in football. At the highest of levels, at college and in the NFL. And we continually sweep everything under the rug. The Baylor program had all kinds of sexual abuse allegations, charges, and everything else. And eventually, a couple years later, it's all swept under the rug, everybody's out, and then they move on. Like nothing happened. Everybody recovers, everybody moves on, everybody forgives, everybody forgets, because that's how it's been programmed. So Urban Meyer is allowed to do the things he does. And whether it's Lou Holtz that would get every other program he was in trouble, they would allow him to do that. And then they reward him by putting him on TV like he is some kind of real representative of how to do things the right way at the college level. But this is what we do. You know what I mean? So let's not be surprised here. That's part of this game, unfortunately. And Urban Meyer is just as big a scumbag as there's ever been in sports. A terrible human being. And I use human being and Urban Meyer very loosely, by the way. Very loosely. Oh, I'm not. He's just a disgusting and despicable thing. And The sad part is that there might even still be a college out there that might be stupid enough and disgusting and despicable enough to actually give them a chance because they're so desperate to lift their football program. That's how bad it is. Does he deserve? I mean, let me tell you, whatever university ever hire, no, he'll never get another pro job again. That for sure, I can guarantee that. But as for college, I could see a college being desperate enough. But let me tell you something. If they do, I hope every columnist in the world, I hope every news outlet in the world puts that school through a ringer and embarrasses them thoroughly. They probably won't because, again, there is no sport that we are more forgiving than football. There is no sport that we're more forgetting than football. And we do that because of the love we have, the addiction we have with that sport. So it is what it is. What are you going to do, folks? Jamie Zorria, I see you were in the house. And he reminds everybody, that's right, smash the like button. Very important that you smash the like button, folks, all right? And I do want to remind you, Slomin's Home Security is a proud sponsor of our program, 1-800-ALARM-ME. And, folks, we are giving away a free doorbell camera. That's right. The first 40 Big O listeners right now who dial 1-800-ALARM-ME will get this limited time offer of a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone, folks. And what I love about it is it's all with your Slomin's Shield. And let me tell you something. Slomin's is going to give you a free custom home security system and a professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. And so, listen to this. You're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, three armed doors, and backup battery. Plus, again, if you're one of the first 40 listeners right now, call 1-800-ALARM-ME. You're going to receive a free doorbell camera and installation of your Slomin Shield. We do it in the Alzigari family. You can do it too, folks. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Protect your family, 1-800-ALARM-ME. And we thank the great folks at Slomin's, proud sponsors of our program. All right. And by the way, really easy system to use also. So that's the other thing. When they install, they'll train you, they'll show you, and boom, really quick. You're going to like it. Great service too. So check it out. Check it out. Doesn't matter where you're listening to me, by the way, because they are in, I believe it's 13 or 14 different markets. They're not in every market, but they might be in your market. So doesn't matter where you're listening to me. You could call Slomin's Shield and support the program and support Slomin's great company. Appreciate all of you out there. Ian from Brooklyn, I see. Big Bob is in. NorCal is in. Thomas Jensen. Omar Lopez says, good morning, everybody. Gabe Vincent developing into a reliable player this year. Add him to the long list of UDFAs. And let me talk a little bit about last night. The one thing that's kind of shining through for me right now is that the BBs haven't dropped yet for Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson reminds me a little bit of Ryan Tannehill. He's a front runner. And so everything's going well, and there are other people out there taking pressure off of you, he can perform. But when there's pressure and there's less out there, and you saw the Sixers pick up the defense, I didn't see him pick himself up. And let me tell you, that exchange late in the game where he gives up the basket in the three-point play, and then he couldn't make the three-point play before that. It was like a 6-point swing. It was frustrating as hell. And then I'm watching Gabe Vincent. That kid plays with cojones, dude. Moxie. Remember what I tell you about how I measure quarterbacks? I need to see how you're going to be under chaos. I know how it's going to be if they protect you and the running game's working and all your receivers are balling and all that. You should be a decent quarterback. If you know how to throw the ball, you should be decent. But what happens when there is a breakdown? when you're not playing with your whole line, when the running game is not working, when a receiver is out, you're number one or something, and there's pressure, can you find a way to make plays in chaos? It got chaotic at the end. It got chaotic because that huge league kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and so did Duncan Robinson. And yeah, you look at the box score and you say, well, he scored 21 points. Yeah, it wasn't a great clip, and 4 of 11 from three-point range isn't terrible, but if you look at his shots late in the game when they needed it, they weren't going through. And then when you look at did you watch the game yesterday, Sean? Okay, but you watch the game, Gabe was fearless, dude. Fearless at the end. Several shots. And he is developing the confidence, is growing. That's one of the things that I'm noticing about Gabe. And right now, what I'm also noticing about Gabe, there's some cojones there. You know, Duncan Robinson is an incredibly talented shooter, right? But he hasn't shown me that he has the son of a bitch in him. You know what I'm saying? I know Jimmy's got it. I know Tyler's got it. I know Bam has it, right? There's certain players that I've already seen it from them. I know Tyler can be the son of a bitch. Okay? Several times I've watched that. I've watched it more from Gabe Vincent than I have from Duncan Robinson. Duncan, again, is a front runner. Everything needs to be working to take the pressure off of him to give him those open shots. But when you're getting in his face and you're getting physical and you got to work at it a little bit harder and all of that, it seems like he shrinks in that moment. You know what he reminds me a lot of, Sean? Robbie Robinson. Very talented, can score, although Robinson has accomplished Duncan has accomplished more than Robbie because they both have the Robinson name, so I can't go Robinson. But Duncan has accomplished way more in his career, obviously. But there's a little some that I see in both of them, kind of the same thing. And I'm sure that Robbie would look good if everything around him was perfect. But when it's not and pressure is on, it seems like he gets small in those moments. You know what I mean? It seems like he yellows out in key moments. It seems like when he is pushed, he gets shoved. He doesn't shove back. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I see from Duncan in a way. I don't see the moxie that I would like out of him. I don't see him get pissed off enough. I don't see him have enough of an edge. Okay? Max Strus has way more edge than Duncan Robinson. And I can already tell you from what I'm seeing from Gabe Vincent, way more edge than Duncan Robinson. Now, Duncan is the superior shooter, but it's the quarterback that can throw in a clean pocket. Okay? Now, can you throw when there's traffic in your pocket? Can you throw when you're being pressured? Can you find the same guy during that moment? Then I need to know if you're that guy. Because, yeah, of course, if the ball's swinging all the way around and it comes to you and everything's set up and you've got 6 feet of airspace before the defender gets to you and you lift and shoot, of course you're supposed to make it. But what about if he's on your hip? What about if you got to shake him? You got to move him a little bit so you can find 6 inches of airspace so you can lift and get that shot off. Can you do it? And those are the things that I'm watching Gabe Vincent hit shots in traffic. I'm watching him hit shots over the last couple of games when defenders are on him and he has to shake them off or he has them on their hip. I'm not seeing enough of that from Duncan Robinson. You want $95 million, bro? Well, now I'm going to ask you to do more now. I'm going to ask you now, there's no, I couldn't come through. And I know they won yesterday, by the way. I understand that. But while these guys are injured, they need a better Duncan Robinson than the one I've been watching all season so far. And my brother, you want $95 million? Well, show me something, man. Show me that this means something. That was pathetic. Missing the 3 and then the defense that they just smoked your ass. Show some pride, bro. Play better defense. So that way when you are missing shots, maybe you can make up for it on the other end or something. I'm just saying. I know he's a great shooter, and I know he'll get things going, and I know he'll be fine because eventually everybody will be on the court, and then obviously everything will be fine for Duncan Robinson. But right now there's chaos. And I need to see more of you during chaos. And I'm seeing more from others during chaos. And that, they're not paying $95 million to Gabe Vincent. They're paying you $95 million. You wanted the money, right? Let's go, man. Start to play like the big boys. Big boys get $95 million. Big boys don't shrink. People that get $95 million don't shrink at the end of games. They find ways to make plays. That's all I got to say. Shrunken Robinson. I love it, man, of 1,005 holes. That may be one of the best tweets you've ever had right there. Or Texas, because they're not tweets. Text. Shrunken Robinson. That is awesome. Dunk's a one-trick pony, and his shooting this year is not good. Yeah, I know. Buenos dias, O and Sean. Thank you, EB. Andy Breakstone is there. Terrible defense. Giovanni says about Duncan Robinson comments, Big O, spot on. Nico Jones says, Gabe Vincent is another Heat Riley find in development. It's unbelievable how they find these players year after year. What a franchise, right? Because you think about it, Struce's development and Gabe Vincent's development, it's like, the Heat can, the Heat might sit back on themselves and go, why did we pay Duncan Robinson? Dude, we can develop shooters like it's going out of style. I felt bad for Yurtseven. Last night he made that defensive play, and then the awkward rebound allowed him to then score on a freakish score, and he made a nice little play there, man. The Yurtseven kid, you know what? I got some hope for him too. Just got to give him time to develop because he's a big man.
I heard Akpala got a block. I don't know how else he played.
Yeah, I mean, Akpala has shown more life
right?
in the last week and a half than he has so far in the 2.5 years that he's been here, So
maybe just
late bloomer.
Part of the game plan?
I don't know, late bloomer maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it is, man. It's a late bloomer. Sometimes it takes a while for certain guys to kind of figure it out. And maybe that's what it is for Akpala. I mean, you've got to use him you've got to use the roster spot, so let's hope it's a productive one. You know what I'm saying? We need COVID Jim Duncan. Dude was automatic behind the 3. Yeah, but that's when everybody was playing well. Everything was going well. You see what I'm saying? That's when Duncan's good. Everything's going well. Very, very Ryan Tannehill. Very Ryan Tannehill. Dunk was good last night. No, he wasn't. And down the stretch, he wasn't. Huh?
He's looking at stats.
Yeah, he's just looking at the stats. Yeah. It's just he didn't watch the game. He didn't watch the game. If he watches the game last night, he doesn't say Duncan was good last night. And he goes, no breathing room. That's my point, Andy. Did you watch Gabe Vincent? There are times he hasn't had breathing room in the last week and a half, and the guy's hitting shots. Big shots, big moments. You know what I mean? Oh, are we actually rooting for the Pats against the Colts this weekend? Troy, I got to tell you something. I'm not worried about any of that. I don't really care about any of it. I don't. I'm not worried about any of that. You know what I worry about? Go beat the Jets. I just want the Dolphins to beat the Jets, get to 7-7. I want to see the defense play well. I want Jalen Phillips to pick up another sack. I want Jalen Waddle to play well. I want Tua to kick ass. That's what I want. That's all I'm worried about right now. I don't care about the other games. I don't care about the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. I'll worry about that, like I told you guys, in weeks 17 and 18 at the end of the season. But right now, with so many games left and so many teams involved, there's just too much, bro. It's mental masturbation. Life is too short. I'm not even worried about it. I don't care. I just don't. The team went 1-7. They put themselves in this position. So I just want to worry about the Dolphins and not. I'm not gonna worry about what happens with the culture of the Pats. It's not has nothing to do with what we're doing here. Should have done better than 1-7, and you wouldn't be in this position. You gonna say something?
Well, no, I was going to say George Richards just came out with about the Panthers.
Yes.
They had a bad showing last game. And
Oh yeah,
some
8-2,
of the
bro.
traveling
Ottawa.
party got put in COVID protocol. Apparently, 4 more players are put in protocol. And this morning, only 13 players at skate. 1 is on IR. And out of those, Aaron Ekblad, Frank Vetrano, and Gus Forsling were also missing. So looks like COVID might be striking the Panthers. They play the Kings tonight.
So they don't even have enough people to play.
They're trying to move some people from the AHL up, but there's only so much they can do. So they're trying to figure out right now. I guess they're scrambling
Wow.
to try to get a lineup for tonight's game.
Good stuff there, man.
That could include sending Spencer Knight back down. So if they send him down, I don't know how long do you have to stay for a certain amount of time in the AHL, or can you send him down and bring him right back up?
Well, why don't we do this, bro? Do you have George's number there?
I do not believe I do.
All right, let me send it to you and call George and let's get him on and let's get all these answers ourselves. And that way we can find out. Let's see. You have it? Okay. All right, send it right now and find out if we can get George on. We see if we can get him on it now, 10:45. Let's get him on, and or you know what? Maybe at noon. That way he has time to gather more information. Let's go noon, 12:30, something like that. We'll do that. So there you go. What else? I went to one NBA game in Miami, and they kicked Alonzo Mourning out of the game before halftime. I was like really wasted. I wasted my money. Big O, I live in Las Vegas and would love to meet up with you when you are here for the draft. Well, Barry, we will be there. We will be there hopefully for the East West Shrine. I'm hoping to be there for the NBA Summer League. I'm hoping to be there for the NFL Draft. I think there's and hopefully some future UFC and boxing matches. Hopefully everything continues to grow. This show's going to be in a lot of places. That's the kind of show we want to have. And we want to be able to cover everything out there. So I would love to meet with all of you out there. We were going to do that a couple of years ago in Vegas. We had it set up, man. It was going to be great. Now we're going to do it again. And hopefully Tommy Rockers, we can host the draft there and have some fun and own that damn bar and run it, baby. Run it. Damn, sign me up for the Panthers. I still have my skates. Andres is ready. Anthony says, Big O, Devontae Parker and Will Fuller need to play. They use plenty of PTO. Well, Parker's been playing now, right? He played last time, so he's going to play. Forget about, at this point, man, I don't even care about Will Fuller anymore. Really, seriously, I just don't care about Will Fuller. Just get the other guys on the field. I'm done with Will Fuller. Rosendo, good morning. Good Thursday morning, Big O Nation. Just hang around Thursday like a hustler. Better days like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will surely come with a lot of amazing stuff. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Rosendo. Appreciate it. And remember, Sunday, we're going to be at Sports Grill in Bird Road. So come on out and join us over at Sports Grill in Bird Road, 114th and Bird Road. Doors will open at noon. Our pregame will start at 11 a.m., and obviously we'll get you ready for the 1 o'clock kickoff between the Dolphins and the Jets. We'll have the postgame show for you. We'll have Flo's press conference, Tua's press conference, and some of the other players. Plus, we're going to have, obviously, Joe Shad and Alan Poupart also joining us on the postgame show. Joe Shad joins us on the pregame show. Omar Kelly and Alan Poupart join us on the postgame show. All right. And then next week, the following week, then on Sunday, we also will add Cameron Wolf to the postgame show. So we'll have 3 insiders on the postgame show. How about that? Anybody else got that in town? No. Not even close. So there you go. So I would love to see all of you out there. Come on, man. It's since we moved to Bird Road, the Dolphins are 5-0. So it's not it's not the defense. It's us moving to Bird Road is the reason why the Dolphins are 5-0. Let's not kid anybody here. Let's not lie. Let's not try to invent something out there. It's all about the move to Bird Road, right?
That and everybody coming out and supporting us.
Right. Well,
Keeping
of course.
it going.
Well, yes. It's very important you guys keep coming out there. Yes. No doubt about it. There you go. By the way, you're set. Let's see. Kevin Lee, thank you for some love on the super chat. He says, Big O, 7-7 coming in 3 days. Who knew we would be making it back to 500 with a 1-7 record? Something historic is about to go down for sure. Playoff coming. Would be nice. Andy Breakstone says, met O 2 times at Connie Hollywood's in Fort Lauderdale. Long run concert, Boca Black. Oh, I see what you're saying. Boca Black Box. Yes. Very cool cat. O is. Very nice, Andy. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I remember stuff at the Black Box. The long run, the Eagles band. They do a really good job. I saw the Eagles band there. I saw, is it John Ford Coley, right? Or England Dan? One of them has passed away. So I think I saw England Dan is what it was. John Ford Coley has passed away. So England Dan I saw over there also at the Black Box. They do a good job over there at the Black Box in Boca, man. Whenever you get to go see a show there, or a comedian or something, so it's a nice little place, man. I like that. I like that place. Let's see. Mauricio says, Big O making it happen this morning. Can't get the coverage anywhere but Big O. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. What up, everyone? Josh says, I don't know why the Heat re-signed Duncan Robinson. I'm not a fan of him. Will Fuller is a thief. I mean, Duncan's a great shooter, dude. But, it's kind of like you got to show us a little more now, Duncan. You got the money. Well, you got to also take the next step. And you can't be playing great only when things are going well on the offense. And that's yesterday. That was what was bothering me down the stretch of that game. Brett Dodger says, no one cares about Fuller, the phony, anymore. Yeah, at this point, I just want him to leave and get out of here. I don't even want to see him on the field anymore. I'd rather see other guys. Dr. J, Big O, that proves your point that if the Finns had good coordinators and coaches like the Heat, because you can see the development in guys like Struce Vincent and Yurtsevin. I mean, what can I tell you, dude? They got nobody to coach that offense and that offensive line. It's just a disaster. But I commend the players, man, for at least fighting through it. Big O, why on earth didn't you guys move much earlier on in the season? LOL. Oh, to Bird Road? Yeah, you're right about that, Brett. You're right. It's our fault. While we can take credit for the streak, we have to take credit for the losses. You're right. Fair is fair, Brett. You're right about that. And we apologize. We should have started at Bird Road first and then moved to Miami Lakes and ruined the back end of the season. That would have been a lot better. Let's see. Big O, since it's the holiday season, saw It's a Wonderful Life in color yesterday. What a classic. Still holds up. Merry Xmas. I haven't seen that whole movie in so long. I've run into like little pieces of it over the years, but I haven't sat there and watched It's a Wonderful World in forever, dude. Forever. Probably a teenager the last time I saw It's a Wonderful World. Big O, I grew up in Hollywood, Eric Scott says, and moved away years ago to build my career. So glad I found you on YouTube. Big thanks to you and Dougley Durong for keeping me up to date on all South Florida sports. Well, thank you, Eric. I appreciate you for finding us and supporting Dougley. He does a great job, man. Let's see. And we should have a new episode for you tomorrow, by the way, Dougley and myself. We could have used that $10 million on the O-line over Fuller. Yeah, but the coach didn't want that. The coach wanted young players. That's why he got rid of, Flowers. So, the coach thought that his coaches and his coaching would be perfect for the young guys. So, even if you wanted to spend money on a veteran lineman, he didn't want a veteran lineman. He wanted all young linemen. So, Dolphins haven't lost since naming fan of the year. Let's go, Fins. NorCal chimes in. And of course, you know who the fan of the year is, right?
NorCal.
It's NorCal. So, NorCal makes a good point there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the move to Bird Road. Maybe it is that they named NorCal fan of the year. That makes a lot of sense.
Then that puts the blame back on the Dolphins for not naming him earlier.
Right. That's true. There you go. That's right. So, yeah, let's go with that because now we can blame the Dolphins and NorCal for not winning the award earlier in the year and ruining our season. So, yes, NorCal, you are correct, sir. It's all on you, NorCal. Way to go, Sean. You broke it down. Yes, NorCal, all on you. If you would have been named earlier in the year, we would have a much better record. But now, it came late, and look what happened. So, all you and the Dolphins. Burden lifted from us. Yes. I feel a lot better now. Yeah, that's good. Well, I tell you, that's really good stuff there. Yeah. Chase Barrett says, I'm not re-signing Gesicki. He's going to want like $17 million a year, which is what Adams and Godwin will go for. Could sign one of those guys or even a lesser wide receiver and build a wall of an O-line. There you go. So now Chase is not signing him. So, and he signs all the checks. So if Chase doesn't sign your check, you're done. I don't know if you guys know that. So it's over. No Gesicki. Rosendo says, the movie has true meaning of Christmas. You know who your real friends are. Amen to that. Super Boom Shack says, I'm spending the holidays at the Grand Prix Racerama. That's a classic.
Have you been over there lately?
No.
Oh, please, they built that up. Grand Prix wrapped. They've
right
it down, but they build up all the new shops.
Oh, yeah, okay,
over
yeah.
there now.
Yeah.
And that looks nice. I went over there actually. When we got 2 days off, I was actually able to travel around. I got to go to the 954, and I was doing some shopping where the roller coaster used to be.
Okay. I wonder where they moved that roller coaster to. I wonder what's that story. Because did they tear it just down?
Yeah, I believe they just tore it down.
No, because normally
it was there for a while. That was, I don't know if that.
But normally they sell those things and they move them.
Oh, maybe
like they tear them down in pieces.
Yeah.
Like they take it down, not tear it down, and then they rebuild it somewhere else. I wonder if they did that or did they just tear it down? What a shame.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you ever ride it?
No.
I did. I rode it a couple of times. It was a good roller coaster.
Yeah. I just was not into the.
You're not into roller coaster? So when we go to Vegas, you're not going to be riding all those rides out there and stuff?
Yeah. Don't they have the one that's up like on the roof? And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
You're going to do that?
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Oh, I got to see you do
I'll
that.
Do that one, yeah.
I did all that. The stratosphere stuff? Yeah.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. Well, that's going to be fun. And you got a camera for that now. Yeah. Well, you better tie it down to yourself, too, just in case.
I'll wear the GoPro so you can see straight what I'm looking at.
Okay. All right. I love it. Big O crazy OT game last night. Lakers versus Mavs. Even without Luka, the Mavs gave it their all, but got beat by the buzzer and beat her by a rookie. Yeah, I know. That was pretty cool that the rookie got that shot and set it up. Super V says, good morning, Big O. Can you do an interview with Chris Sims and Keyshawn Johnson so you can rip these bums on live YouTube? They won't come on my show. If you tag Gesicki, it's like $11.5 million. He's not getting $17 million a year. Calm down. Gesicki will be a Dolphin next year. I hope so. I like Gesicki, man. I think he's a heck of a player, man. I think he's a great receiver. I think there's a guy that can be such a weapon for any quarterback. I'm a big fan of Gesicki, man. I don't need him to block. I know my man Omar. I love Omar, but I think he's completely wrong on this, and he gets crazy about the whole blocking thing when there's only a few of those guys on the planet anyways. So, Jamie Reichert says, Big O, can you play the audio of Chris Sims trying to run plays in Tampa and Gruden yelling at him? No, not really. Dude, I don't need to go over Sims' mediocre career to make a point that he doesn't know what he's talking about with Tua. He just doesn't know what he's talking about, period. That's all. I don't need to really show that he was a mediocre quarterback anyway, and that John Gruden didn't like him in the first place, from what I'm told. He wasn't really even a fan of Chris Sims, which is the kind of the weird thing. Huh?
You just look at his career.
Yeah, no, his career sucked, but that has nothing to do whether he's right or wrong about a quarterback or whether he knows it or not. So that part, for me to show you how mediocre he was as a quarterback, that has nothing to do with his opinion. It's whether we agree or disagree with it, and I disagree with it, and I think he's completely wrong. And the best thing is to wait another year or two to then you bring on Sims or Keyshawn after Tua has established and is rolling. And then you go back and say, hey, so a couple years ago, you were, completely off on the Tua thing. So how bad were you off on that? And then that's when you do it. You don't do it now because now there's still gray area for a lot of people. You know what I mean? The ones that don't think he can play, they're convinced he's not playing. And the ones that think he can play, like yours truly, I know he can play. But I'm better off waiting another year or two after he's established and he's winning and all that. And then it's kind of gone under the water's gone under the bridge and it's floated away and it's downstream and headed into the ocean and all that. Everybody's forgotten it. And then that's when you pick up the phone. That's when you call Keyshawn Johnson. And he thinks you're calling about the Packers' 5-game winning streak and the Dolphins' 4-game winning streak and the battle with the Bills and this and that. And then you hit him in the middle of the interview. Hey, by the way, you were off that Tua stuff a couple years ago. You were clearly you were dead wrong on that. So where are you at now? And then that's when you corner him. That's what you do. So you just let it sit there. Patience. Remember how I tell you in crypto, patience. If you're investing in the right company, you stay strong. That what's it called? The tokenomics of the company, it's all in place. You know that they've got the foundation, they've got the partners, they've got the money, they've got the product. It's going to make an impact. It's something that the real world needs. So it's going to be in use. So now you feel confident about that. Now you sit back, and if there's a dip, you continue to invest in it. You sit, you wait, and a year later, 2 years later, it explodes. And your patience pays off. So now we will wait. We will let Tua explode, become a player. And then that's when you hit these fools down the line and you bring them on. And then you thoroughly embarrass them because now they have no way out. At the moment, Chris Sims and Keyshawn will have ways out. Every Tua disbeliever, hater, whatever you want to call that person, they have a way out right now. You got to wait till you've kind of cornered them and they've got no way out. And that's when we will go in for the kill. Okay? But you wait. Let enough proof come out. So when it's undeniable, then they can say, no, I was wrong on that one. Okay. All right. Okay. And then that's when I can follow up. Yeah, the problem you were wrong is because you're a size queen. Huh? Yeah. You think every quarterback 6'5" and has got to throw 100 miles an hour. And because he doesn't look like Justin Herbert, he can't be good. And then, oh, no. And then that's when I have them. And then that's when I just crush them even more. So don't worry about it. We'll have some fun with that, but down the line. Not right now. It's not something we're gonna let it marinate, is what we're gonna do. Big O, do you think Damon Arnett will work out for the Dolphins? Same draft as Noah, right? All right, so here we go. Let's address the David Arnett signing with the Miami Dolphins. As you all know, they signed the Ohio State cornerback. First of all, David Arnett was overrated. David Arnett, coming out of school, was overrated. He also had issues at Ohio State, and they knew it, and they took him anyways. And he was a monster underachiever for the Raiders. So, remember, the Dolphins are the kind of team that will take a chance on shady players. And they did it with the running back. And unfortunately, we all know and found out what happened with him. And it's an incredibly sad story. He is a young man that needs a lot of help. And I don't think anybody really knew mentally how bad the situation was for him. All you have to do is look up his, Pizza Hut video. And if you're not, by the end of that video, if you're not sad for him, then you're really not a human being, because you now know what was going on with him, that it's not really that he's a criminal and not really that he's a bad person. It's just that unfortunately right now he's not wired the right way. And that could happen to any of us. You know what I mean? It's just a sad state. So they've taken chances on guys like that already. Preston Williams was a guy that had baggage in school, and he dropped out of the draft, and they took a chance on him, and that one's worked out on the character side. It has not worked out as a player, because Preston unfortunately has been a complete tease and really has never lived up to any of the hype or talent that he really has. You know what I'm saying? Arnett, it's an interesting thing. He's talented. He has some talent. But unfortunately, mentally, he's a midget. And that's the problem. He's a mental midget. And when you're not very bright and you are ignorant and you're uneducated and you don't have common sense, which he shows all of those things in that video and lots of other things that he's done from Ohio State and with the Raiders. That's the only issue I see that may stop him from ever being a productive player, maybe even human being. So it's up to Arnett now. For those of you that don't know, they signed Arnett, and they put him on the practice squad, and Damon now, we'll see. We'll see. He's got a lot of maturing to do before he becomes a good football player. A lot of maturing. Just like we all have a lot of maturing to do as we grow up before we become productive adults in society, that we can do our part, be responsible, be supportive, be a cog to something bigger like a family, a foundation, a corporation, those kind of things. We learn how to be a part of those kind of things, to help and be a part of something that is helping our society grow in one way or another. And Damon Arnett has a long way to go to get there. I don't know if getting cut from the Raiders is going to be enough, because we just got the guy from the Titans who also had Wilson, right? What was his name? Wasn't it Wilson? The big lineman? Wasn't it Wilson? I want to say the offensive lineman. And, he ended up on a truck with some woman and smoking and driving, and they cut him right after, within a week or whatever, right? And he got cut from Tennessee. And you thought, okay, so this is his wake-up call. He's got a lot of talent. He's a former first-round pick. Tennessee gives up on him. And all of a sudden, so I'm not sure if Damon Arnett is going to get the wake-up call from getting cut from the Raiders. He might be just as dumb and ignorant as Wilson was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Isaiah Wilson, it is. So, you can't do anything about that. And now Isaiah says he got help and he wants to come back and all that. And I'm sure somebody will give him something at some training camp next year and say, come on in. We'll give you a shot at training camp. You got no guarantees whatsoever. And he's going to have to earn his way and minimum money and all that kind of stuff. And that's it. Maybe he figures life out. I don't know. So that's the problem with Damon Arnett. Damon has some talent. I don't know if it's NFL talent. I don't think any of us know if it's, I don't think the Dolphins know if he's talented enough to play in the NFL. Because we don't know if he's professional enough to kind of figure it out. But I will say this. Does it hurt the Dolphins for signing him? No. Is it the best of looks? No, it's not. It's not. So, what can I tell you? All right, let's do this. Let's take a break. Hopefully when we come back, Andrew Ivins is going to join us from 247 Sports. Send him a link there. From 247 Sports, he'll join us on the other side. We'll talk about the Canes and recruiting. We do all of that next. Hour number 2 live from Hialeah Park Casino right here on the Big O Radio Show.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Offense to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Pablo in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Canesware, Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty, hour number 2 live from Hialeah Park, baby. Yes, sir, Hialeah Park Casino. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Don't forget, folks, that we do want to remind you that Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises is a proud sponsor of our program. If you need a roof for your business, for your home, folks, all you got to do is call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises. Go to the website, TommyB.ButtsJr.Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826. Save it on that cell phone, 954-735-9826. A rating from the Better Business Bureau, and they work on all styles of roofs. So it doesn't matter what type of roof you have. All work is fully guaranteed with the customer's complete satisfaction, licensed and insured, folks. And they use nothing but top quality grade materials from the best manufacturers. And they've been serving the South Florida community for over 25 years. Tommy is a big-time listener of our show. He's been supporting our show for years now as a listener, as a supporter. Now he is a part of the family here as a partner of our show. So if you need a roof here in South Florida, folks, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises. They will definitely take care of you. And they're also a Y Green contractor, too. There you go. All right. Let's get ready to talk a little Miami Hurricanes recruiting. I don't know. Maybe I could even talk a little Jackson State recruiting, too, with Andrew Ivins from 24/7 Sports. You can follow him on Twitter, by the way, at Andrew_Ivins. You can catch his work there at 24/7 Sports. Let's bring him aboard. Andrew, good morning, my friend. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I apologize. I'm not in my normal studio here. Still kind of recovering from the busy day. Had to get the lighting fixed out. So I'm here. I'm alive. How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. I can't complain. Rocking and rolling here every single day and having a good time doing our thing here. And having a lot of success. Actually, it's gone really, really well, man. So it's been fun kicking QAM's ass up and down the street. That's been a lot of fun to trash their sorry ass. So this has been a lot of fun. First of all, before I get into the Deion Sanders, brother. So he gets that commitment. Now, what I want to know is he going to be committed to that kid for the next 4 years? Because if you start recruiting like that, some big school is going to come knocking. And I wonder if Deion Sanders is going to be that loyal in the end to the school when, a big school comes knocking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're talking about Travis Hunter, the number one player in the country. I mean, a kid who I had heard kind of rumors about him this time last year. I remember watching the Georgia State high school playoffs, and he was unreal. He had a sick one-handed catch, and I hadn't had the opportunity to scout him and lay eyes on him, in person. And some people are all about those type of evaluations. I'm one of those guys. You got to see him move around, and finally got to see Travis Hunter at a 7-on-7 tournament in Atlanta. And never before in my life had I not been able to take my eyes off him. I think the only other time when I just couldn't, not look away was when Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields were playing 7-on-7 against each other. That was like one moment I'll never forget. And seeing Travis Hunter for the first time play 7-on-7 in shorts and a t-shirt was just jaw-dropping. So we've always been super high on him. Had monster numbers on both sides of the ball. I call him cornerback one, wide receiver one. I mean, he could go both ways, and he's the best of the best in the class of 2022 at it. And by all accounts, he was locked in with Florida State. Every time we talked to him, I'm going to Florida State. I joked yesterday on our signing day show. At one point, I thought he had an apartment in Tallahassee because he was spending so much time in Tallahassee. And then Florida State gets off to the 0-3 start, right? So they're, it starts raising the flags. Never before had a number one recruit signed with a team that went sub 500 that season, right? There'd only been one of them, I think. Never before had a recruit signed with a school that lost to an FCS team. Remember, Florida State lost to Jacksonville State. So the door starts opening. Georgia, which is right down the road from where he lives, is putting together a dream season, giving up no points on defense. That defense is elite. Everyone wants to play for that defense. So we thought if he was going to flip anywhere, it was going to be Georgia. But Jackson State, man, where did this come from? It came out of nowhere. And then kind of digressing, take a step back. I mean, it all makes sense. Travis idolizes Deion Sanders. Kids gravitate towards them. I was joking with someone yesterday, like my generation, it seems to have skipped. Like, to me, Deion Sanders isn't that big of a deal, but to the young kids it is.
And to their parents.
Exactly. I don't know how that happened, but he's a gravitating person. And I think it's good for recruiting. I mean, it was an awesome story. We'll see how this pans out. Like you said, what happens if Deion maybe gets the Florida State job next year? Does he kind of follow him? But
he'll follow him. Come on. That's the plan. Come on.
It's free agency right now. That's what it is. I mean, Travis Hunter can go there, get his 1 year. I'm assuming there's NLI deals, money involved here, and then he can just go to whatever school he wants. And is that right? I don't know. We're just entering a new era of football in terms of college football, but it's exciting. And like I said, most people had no idea what conference Jackson State was in. Probably no one knows where it's located. No, but I can guarantee you people are going to be watching whatever game they have on TV because he's that polarizing of a player. Like I said, I can't take my eyes off the kid. Every time he does, it's something jaw-dropping. So he's that good, and
So he's got a chance to be the second greatest player in Jackson State history.
Who's number one? I have no idea.
Are you serious?
I mean,
Walter Payton, my brother.
Okay. Walter Payton. Okay. I was scrambling yesterday. I mean, that got dropped on us out of nowhere. I'm trying to scramble to figure out who's been to HBCUs. I know Edgerrin James, Edge's kid, he signed with Howard yesterday. He had some other Power 5 opportunities. And this is what we kind of thought about last year with the NLI money, HBCU, just wherever we were as a country in 2020. There's a lot of kids talking about doing it, but no blue chip kid had said, hey, I'm going to do this. And Travis did it. So we'll see if others follow suit. But I think so, because every time I've been around him, there's other kids, his peers, they stop and they say, hey, is that Travis Hunter? They stop and they want to see him. So he has that type of effect where I think others are going to try to follow him. And, maybe we shake up this college football landscape. Jackson State had 58,000 fans at their most recent game against Alcorn, right? That's way more than FAU and FIU.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. It's got to be the Aflac blue jacket that he's really striving for that Aflac blue jacket, so maybe that's what it's all about. Once he puts on that blue jacket, he's set, with Saban, and maybe kids think it's cool that he's there with Saban too. I don't know what it is about him, but it is amazing. And I know the Barstool thing was tied to them, and then it's been denied and all that stuff. I don't know, but there's got to be some kind of an NIL deal.
Yeah.
You haven't been able to unearth what it is, right?
Right. I mean, there's some of my colleagues, 24/7 Sports Director of Recruiting Steve Wilfong, he had heard some numbers. I work some of my contacts, and that's just the consensus. There's some type of package. There's a lot of every NLI law is different in every state. Like you can't agree to something. I mean, you could verbally probably agree. You can't no written agreements before you are actually a student athlete in that state. I haven't gotten to the weeds of it, but yes, you would assume something. I mean, if Dion's getting, like you said, the Aflac deals, there's got to be something there, and I would hope so.
Let me run something by you too. Tell your 247 people to look up this, because I this is the cynical me in thinking this. Not that I have any proof or anything, but I wonder if that kid is getting an NIL deal, that on the back end, Deion Sanders is also going to be a sponsor or a representative of that company too. So just in case, if the kid doesn't work out, you still got Deion also representing your company. So, hey, Deion, you're also going to represent us? Okay, we'll represent him. So they're kind of paying the kid by paying also Deion. You know what I'm saying? So I just wonder, because it's funny that, the NCAA is looking into Miami and the Ruiz thing or whatever. And meanwhile, here's these crazy ass NIL deals. What's the NCAA going to do, dude? Because they're getting railroaded by all this stuff. And this thing is going to just make college football. I mean, it's pro football. It's semi-pro football is what it's become. Oh,
it is. And, to kind of not really pivot away from the NLI, but the transfer portal is a big issue as well. There's 1,100 kids right now in that transfer portal. Guess what? Most of these kids do not have opportunities at Power 5. I mean, there are kids that leave schools and they'll say, hey, I'm only going to a Power 5 school. Well, guess what, bud? There's only 20 Power 5 wide receiver slots right now. So now that guy's got to go somewhere else. Lane Kiffin, he said it, I think a few days ago, hey, this is free agency. I think the coaches kind of want it to end. Just work, speaking with those. I was out at St. Thomas Aquinas first day of the contact period. These are when the guys should be recruiting high school athletes. I mean, they were watching one of the top teams in America. They're sitting there. They're supposed to be evaluating. And what are they doing? They're glued to their phone trying to figure out who's in the transfer portal, right? So that's what the big craze is right now. I know Todd Berry and the AFCA, Ross Dellinger of Sports Illustrated reported this. They want to get some regulations on that transfer portal and kind of make it like free agency where, you can enter now, you can make some moves now, but then it locks up for a little bit, right? And then it opens back up and then it locks up again, just like NFL free agency. So I think that's maybe the direction we're going. And there's a ton of tampering going on. I mean, I'm not accusing anyone of it, but I talk to anyone that's involved in the field. If a kid goes in the portal and they're good, a majority of the time they already know where they're going to school. You don't enter it because as soon as you enter, the school you're at is going to cut your financial aid. They're going to cut your academic support in most cases. So then you're kind of stuck on your own. So most of the times when kids are already working back channels, they know, hey, if I enter, I can end up at one of these spots. And you're seeing that more and more. And I this is just the reality now. I mean, Spencer Rattler, look, he's now at South Carolina. It's crazy.
Andrew Ivins, by the way, you can follow him on Twitter at Andrew_Ivins and catch his work there at 247 Sports. All right, so talk to me a little bit about Crystal Ball. It looks like he was able to lock up everything Manny had already. Well, what do you like about what he was able to lock down and anything he was able to add?
Yeah, was it a super eventful day for Miami on the ground surface? Probably not. But he did. He had a limited time to work with. Last Monday, he was hired, flew in, introduced on Tuesday. You only had really 3 or 4 days to recruit. Then you're hosting visitors. And I think the good thing for Miami is they hired a coach that was already recruiting at a national level, already had relationships with some of these guys. Nigel Kelly, the kid out of Fort Lauderdale, Dillard High School, who picked Miami. I don't even know what other hats he had on the table. I think it was Florida State, Auburn, something like that. That is a kid that told me a few weeks ago I'd be committed to Oregon if Oregon was located in South Florida. And Mario Cristobal was the big reason. So they get him locked up. Super important because they need pass rushers. It's an elite year down here in the Tri-County area. Really, we should start calling it a 2-county area because Palm Beach is lacking talent recently. But they needed to get a guy, and they got Nigelique in the boat. There's still some other blue chippers out there, some pieces. This signing day period goes through Friday. Kids don't even have to sign. You can just kind of show up and start classes in January, and then you got a February signing period as well. So they're after a tight end committed to Alabama, Jaleel Skinner. They're after a 5-star wide receiver. So I like those guys. We'll see what happens there. You know, they're after a big name in the transfer portal, Marcus Banks, a cornerback from Alabama. He used to be a blue chip recruit as well. So those guys are all in play. Circling back to what you said about what he did, I think he did an excellent job of holding on to some of these guys. Ja'Cory Brown, the quarterback they got coming in. I know everyone's so high on Tyler Van Dyke right now, and why not? He had an excellent into the season. But let's not forget, quarterback has been a huge Achilles heel for this program. It's been a big issue. As much as everyone dislikes Manny Diaz or has their gripes about Manny Diaz, he turned around that room, right? You know, let's not forget, Tyler Van Dyke was number 3 in the depth chart 6 months ago, and he comes in and he's one of the top passers in the ACC. So they want to keep stacking talent in that position room. And I'm a huge fan of Ja'Cory Brown. You know, he to me has all the right attitude. I saw him play up in Atlanta back in August. Probably the only, I think he was the only kid senior on his team that signed a FBS scholarship, and they went head to head with one of the top teams in Georgia. He forced overtime essentially all on his own. I think he had like 300 of his team's 350 yards of offense. So he's a leader. He's a winner. And I think Miami needs that. And, you know, some schools came in late when it became clear Manny was on his way out. You had Ole Miss in there. Arkansas was in there. I know Texas A&M kicked the tires at one point. And Mario eased things over. Remember, Mario hasn't even hired an offensive coordinator. He got this kid to sign. So I think that was super important. Some other guys, Chris Graves, a cornerback out of Fort Myers area, same thing. You know, he was committed to Miami. I think he wanted to be at Miami, but Mario needed to sell him on that vision. Again, he doesn't have a defensive coordinator right now. He's recruiting with coaches that have no idea if they're going to be still employed by the U come January 1st. So Mario got Chris Graves in the boat. I think he's a huge high upside kid. He's only 17 years old, which in the scouting world, that's like eyes lit up, like scouting porn almost, in terms of like, this is what you want, a young guy that has all this upside. So I think he did a good job of holding on to it. And any Miami fan that's, you know, looks at the rankings and say, hey, they're in the 60s. I mean, I don't know what you expect. This was just kind of how the cards fell. And, you know, I think where we're really see Mario flex his muscle will be in that 2023 cycle because he's going to have a full year to work for it. And it's so many kids in that class, so the juniors now in high school, know who he is. They want to play for him. So I think 2023 is when they'll have a run at potentially, hopefully, a top 5 class if you're a Miami fan. I think that's obtainable.
Yeah, no, listen, when you have a transition like this, it's going to hurt you in that. But I'm fine with that because in the end, if you end up with the better coaching staff, the better recruiting down the line, that's really what it's all about. It's not like you were knocking on the door of a national championship and you lost a whole bunch of people because you changed coaches. So it's, to me, that's a lot of that. Those are people that are trying to make a mountain out of a molehill at this point in time, really. And let's also part 2 of this to lead to segue from this one. Mario can also cut the deficit with the transfer portal, something you just talked about a couple times already in this conversation.
That's all I talk about.
And I'm sure he's going to be in play for a couple of really good disgruntled players from other places, including Oregon, by the way.
Right. You know, I mentioned there's 1,100 kids in there right now. Just talking with people inside the industry, my coaching contacts, the consensus or the feeling is we will see more guys enter that transfer portal after this bowl season wraps up. You know, I mentioned if you enter the transfer portal, you lose in a lot of cases, they will pull your financial aid and your academic aid. And, you know, to me and you, that probably doesn't seem like a big deal, but man, some of these kids they're 19, they're 20, you know, it's asking a lot to pass these classes, these finals. So I think we're going to see some more names in there. I don't know where exactly Mario is going to plan to attack. You know, I think they're probably going to need to find an edge rusher, a veteran edge rusher. I know they just offered a kid out of Albany. Seems like everyone in the country is after him. I honestly don't know the name off the top of my head, but I think the premium positions like that, I mean, this is the first year Miami doesn't really have to look for a quarterback in there. A wide receiver would make some sense, but we still got to figure out what is he going to do in terms of an offensive coordinator? What does he want to do on defense? Is this going to be a 3-4 look? Is this going to be a 4-3 look? I think those are some questions we need to get answered. But yes, Miami's always going to be attractive to graduate transfer players. I think Manny Diaz did an excellent job of identifying that. You go to a kid, a veteran kid, hey man, come down here for combine training. Where are the NFL combine training facilities for the scouting combine? Where do all those guys come down here and train? They train in South Florida or out in Phoenix, I think, So you got good weather here. If you're into the nightlife, obviously there's a ton of options. And I think that's why Miami's found success. They've had grad transfers hit at a higher clip than anywhere else. KJ Osborne is now finding his stride with the Minnesota Vikings. Jalen Phillips is like one of the biggest reclamation projects ever. I mean, I remember when he visited and it looked like he was 215 pounds. I'm like, this can't be our former number one player. Now he's in the NFL. He's got 8.5 sacks. So they've had success there. I think they'll continue. I don't have any names that immediately jump out to me besides Marcus Banks, that corner I talked about out of Alabama. I think linebacker, edge, those are some areas I'd look at. And then probably wide receiver. I mean, again, you got Tyler Van Dyke, the quarterback. They lose Charleston Rambo, but look what he did. I think it would make sense there to potentially get, a game-changing wide receiver.
By the way, you need to follow Andrew Ivins out there if you want to keep up on everything recruiting at the college level, because he is so good with all of this and so well connected. Andrew_Ivins on Twitter, and catch his work there at 24/7 Sports. Before I let you go, you look at this whole transfer portal now. You look at you talked a little bit about the coaching context that you have and all that stuff. So I'm wondering, have you asked these coaching contacts, because you've mentioned also in the interview that he doesn't have an offensive and defensive coordinators. So what are you hearing? If you're hearing, I know, Andrew, I bring you on and talk more recruiting than anything else, but because I know you're always on the phone and talking to all these people, you got to be hearing something about some rumors and offensive and defensive coordinators. And we kind of already heard the whole Joe Brady thing. He's not a recruiter. So if he's not a recruiter, he's not coming here. Yeah. So tell me who could be a possibility for Miami as an OC or DC?
Well, two things. I'm going to start with, just working the phones, like you said, just talking, recruiting with some of my contacts. The interest for Miami's positions right now is extremely high. Like, I have a lot of my contacts that are very, very good position coaches, guys that put people in the league that are gauging me. Hey, what are you hearing on this? Hey, what do you think? Like, maybe Mario should call me. So people want to work for Mario. Don't get me wrong. And I'm talking elite guys that have, again, put people in the pros, develop guys, put them in the pros, guys that have been really good recruiters in terms of the rankings, guys that have developed position award winners, national position award winners. So the interest is there. And I think Mario is going to have the pick of his litter. One name that always keeps coming up for the offensive coordinator position, I keep hearing James Coley. That's a name that Miami fans are going to be familiar with. Some people are going to make some faces. I know he was a play caller at one time. I don't think he would be the sole play caller. It seems like Brian McClendon, his wide receivers coach at Oregon, he's likely going to come. He currently holds a passing game coordinator tag at I almost said Auburn. I don't even know why I said Auburn, at Oregon. So would he come with that? Maybe you got a co-coordinator situation. But from my understanding, James Coley is like Mario's not number two, but he's in the inner circle. He's close to him. So I think he could be a name. He might not even come as the offensive coordinator. Joe Brady, I don't know much on him. I will say this, someone I know that's kind of close to Joe Brady said there's interest is definitely there from his end. And you bring up the recruiting thing. Yeah, is he might not be an ace recruiter, but I think you can kind of hide some of those with how the staffs are structured now. You have 10 on-field coaches. Mario fought for a ton of money, not only for his assistants, but for his personnel department. So you're going to have people that you get them on campus and recruit. And let's be honest, I mean, Rhett Lashley, he won some big battles for Miami at certain positions, but he was really just kind of the quarterback guy. And that's what the offensive coordinator is. So I don't think him not being a huge recruiter really changes anything. And we just talked about it. We got free agency now. How many quarterbacks are in the transfer portal? I mean, the past two quarterbacks that beat Alabama, starting quarterbacks, are both into the transfer portal right now. So it's like kids are on the move at an all-time high. So you treat it like free agency if you need to go get an arm at some point. Other names on defense, I've heard a bunch. One I heard this morning was Chris Partridge, who is at Michigan. I believe has some New Jersey ties. I don't know when he overlapped with Mario. I think it might have been at Rutgers. So there's one, but there's a ton of interest.
Is he related to the other Partridge that was down here at FAU? Okay,
he's not. He is not.
Okay.
But hey, I think Charlie Partridge would be an excellent defensive line hire for Miami.
That's why I brought it up. Wow, the name. I'm just wondering.
Yeah. So again, the interest is high, right? And I think Mario is going to have his pick. And, everyone on that staff currently would love to get a job working under Mario.
I like what you said, that from what you're hearing, a lot of people want to work for Mario.
Yes.
So Mario's a good dude. Like he's a man's man. You know what I mean? So that's the good thing. When you deal with Mario, you're dealing with a guy that's going to give you his word, and his word is gold. You know what I mean? So he's a pro's pro, man. He's one of those guys you definitely want to work for. You can tell.
Let me leave you on this. I think so much is made of the head coach hires, and that's absolutely true, right? But you're really as good as your 10 assistant coaches. And the more I've done this, the more I've realized that. I go back to when Miami made that run under Mark Richt and they were 10-0. Mark Richt's staff was good. It was a bunch of veteran guys. And yes, maybe some of them haven't got the best of jobs or haven't panned out, but you got Ron Dugans at Florida State. You got Stacy Searles as O-line coaches at North Carolina. Todd Hartley just developed one of the best tight ends in the country at Georgia, and Brock Bowers. So if you are a good veteran head coach, good people want to work with you. Think about it. You are signing on to someone hoping for success. So one of the initial issues I think Manny had was a lot of people didn't know who he was. It was hard for him to get good assistant coaches because he was a first-time head coach at a Power 5 opportunity. And I think that was kind of one of his downfalls, getting good people to work for him. And that's not a knock on him. It's just an experience thing. Good people want to work for Mark Richt. They know who Mark Richt is. They know Mark Richt's track record. Same thing goes for Mario Cristobal. He's already failed at FIU, went to Alabama, was in that operation where it seems like they churn out coaches every year at all different levels. I mean, going to any college staff, I think there's a guy that has a tie to Alabama to it. And then he rebuilt at Oregon. So good people are going to work for him. It's a brand name. It's a safe name. And if you watch his opening press conference, man, who wouldn't want to work for him? He had it all together. Didn't even have to look at his notepad. So I thought that was impressive.
Follow him on Twitter, Andrew _ Ivins, and catch his work there at 24/7 Sports. Andrew, great information as always, my brother. Thank you for taking some time, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Big O.
Appreciate you, man. You be good.
Thank you.
You got it. There you go. The great Andrew Ivins, baby. 24/7 Sports. Don't forget EJD Construction. Call my guy, Eric. Man, you want to improve your house, man cave, you name it. You want to add an addition to your home. Whatever it is you want to do, call EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843. AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. Fully insured. Everything, liability, you name it. Communication with the owners, that's what it's all about. Affordability. They use shell construction in-house, which keeps the cost down, folks. Reliability and accountability, that's what Eric is all about. I've known him for years. They've been a proud sponsor of our program. So if you're looking to improve your home, do it right now. Call them, 305-433-4843 for ejdconstruction.com. Let's get ready, baby. Joe Shad is next with the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Insider Report.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending Report.
Right, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Joe Shad. Joe, you got COVID or are you good?
I do not have COVID. We do have some breaking news that you're going to get as I tweet it. Jalen Waddle is going on the COVID-19 list for the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh, wow. That is breaking news right now. Oh, man, Jalen Waddle.
COVID. This is a problem. This is a real problem. Devon Holland was a problem. Jalen Waddle is a huge problem. I mean, other than Tua Tagovailoa, who would you less likely be without? Who would you prefer? I mean, name another guy, right? I mean, you got Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle, and who?
No, Jalen Phillips. I mean, it has to be, Holland's already out. It has to be something like that, Gesicki. But Waddle is the most important player outside of Tua on offense, and he's the most consistent and reliable receiver on offense. He's the guy that Tua has relied on over and over and over again, and he has come through. I have bragged for weeks now at how impressed I am with Jalen Waddle because he is playing like he's a 5-year veteran. I had OJ McDuffie on last week, and I told him, I said, Juice, he plays like you. He's doing all the stuff. And Juice goes, well, he's got one more gear than I did. And I go, yeah. I know that. But I am so impressed at the maturity of Jalen Waddle and the fact that he has taken on all this responsibility. And this is major news, Joe, because
Big O, who can do what Jalen Waddle does?
Nobody.
Devontae Parker and Preston Williams are catch and fall receivers.
Right. Yeah. No.
Lynn Bowden is on injured reserve.
Yeah.
Jakeem Grant, whether you like him or not, he's at least an explosive player with burst. He's been traded. All right. Albert Wilson, unfortunately, doesn't look like the player we hoped he was going to return to be in the spring. He doesn't look as dynamic. What are the Dolphins going to do here? How about Kirk Merritt?
Yeah. Well, but Joe, here's where it's a bad thing and it's not so bad. Okay, because I'm not going to say it's a good thing because it can't be a good thing missing Waddle. But here's where I want to shed some light and help the folks out there. Tua has learned to play in chaos, something that most quarterbacks struggle to do. He plays every week with a line that can't block, a running game that isn't effective. Most of his receivers aren't reliable anyways. Outside of Waddle, now I guess now the coach will be forced to play Mac Hollins more. Thank God.
The problem with Hollins, Parker, and Preston is they're all similar body types.
No, I'm not.
I'm agreeing with you. This is a real problem.
It is a problem. There's no doubt. But what I do like about the problem, at least, is we're not talking about a quarterback that's a mental midget. We're not talking about a quarterback that is going to go small in the moment. This is a quarterback that has shown us that has risen to the situation that he's involved in. So I think he'll find a way to adjust and do enough to at least beat the Jets. The Jets aren't a great team. And if you at least can put the ball in play to some of these guys, I think they'll hang on to the ball enough to move the ball. So I like the fact, see, if it was another young quarterback around the league that a lot of people are bragging about in this situation, I would be concerned. But I think Tua's done a nice job of adjusting to all the chaos. Hopefully, these guys will pick up their game and support Tua, in the game on Sunday. That's what
listen, the Dolphins have a little 5'7" speedster, Tommy Lee Lewis, that nobody's probably ever heard of. He's on the practice squad. Who knows? Maybe some random guy like Tommy Lee Lewis ends up getting the call up. What I'm concerned about here, Big O, it's hard enough to run the football if you're the Dolphins. And now they're without Myles Gaskin, Savon, Ahmed, and Philip Lindsay in all likelihood. So then you say, well, all right, we're gonna go 5 wide. Well, now you can't go 5 wide unless it's Isaiah Ford, Mac Hollins, etc.
Right.
So what's the answer, right? Maybe tight ends. The one thing the Dolphins do have is 5 tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
So how about you line up with 3 tight ends, Duke Johnson, Malcolm Brown, right? Maybe you go 4 tight ends, Malcolm Brown, and try to run the football against the Jets. The Jets are actually decent against the run.
Oh, wait, you keep leaving out my man Mac Hollins here. Mac Hollins needs to be playing more anyway.
We like Mac Hollins.
I love Mac Hollins.
Mac Hollins is an underrated receiver and a good player and a great leader. But he's not, Jalen Waddle.
No, I know that. But today on this team, he's my number 2 wide receiver. On this team, he's my number 2 wide receiver. He's the guy I can count on. I can't count on Parker. I can't count on Preston. Can't count on Fuller. Can't count on Wilson. I can count on that guy to line up every single week. And every time they throw him the ball, all he does is make plays. He either makes plays on special teams or as a wide receiver. I don't know how he hasn't been rewarded with more playing time. And I would imagine on the week like this, without Waddle, not that he's replacing Waddle, but damn, I'd use him at least because he's a tough sumbitch, man. I like that kid.
Now, listen, we know the Jets aren't very good and that there's no excuses. Now, I hate to say that because we said that going into the Jaguars game, and the no excuses thing didn't play out very well, all right, because missing Xavier Howard and Byron Jones in that game, one of only 2 wins that Urban Meyer will ever have in NFL history. That is very embarrassing. All right, so you know you don't want to say no excuses, but hey, you know what? Here's an opportunity for Dolphins offensive coordinator George Godsey to show that he's actually got some answers. That, you know, and the Dolphins offense has, you know, improved a little bit since they cut Charlie Fry out of the process and sort of made it clear that it's on Godsey. So let's see what he comes up with, man. It does make it interesting. I mean, all right, let's say right now, offensive touches, Big O, top 3. You are George Godsey. Who are the top 3 guys you want in touches on Sunday? You got Duke Johnson, you got Malcolm Brown, you got Mike Gesicki, you got Devontae Parker. You got to imagine it's going to be Gesicki and Parker in some order, 1, 2.
Yes.
Okay, Gesicki, then Parker. Who's 3 in touches? Is it Duke Johnson? Is it Mac Hollins?
Mac
Is
Hollins.
It Malcolm Brown? You're the Mac Hollins guy.
Well, I've been the Mac Hollins guy for a while, and I'm pissed at them that they don't play him enough opposite him. I'm sick and tired of watching Preston Williams and Albert Wilson and all these idiots play when they should be giving Mac Hollins a lot more time opposite of Waddle. Look, you can't replace Waddle. Nobody can do what Waddle does on this team. Nobody has Waddle's talent. So now you're going to have to run a different kind of an offense. You are correct. And it's probably going to be more of a bigger receivers, more possession, those kind of things. But on the good side is you're going to have bigger bodies on the field, bigger targets for Tua. So that life should be a little easier in that sense because guys like Parker have more range, guys like Hollins have more range, guys like Gesicki have more range. And I find that always to be a positive for any quarterback out there when you have a guy that has more range that you can get him the ball.
Big O, something I just thought of is some Christmas presents from Amazon at the front door for sure. You got that Ring set up. It works pretty well. We got to get Ring as a sponsor.
Yes. We have Slomin's home security, and they have the
do they have a camera?
They have a free camera bell if you are one of our listeners. 1-800-ALARM-ME, Joe.
So I'm going to have to look into that system.
Well,
and do a comparison. That could be a good choice to switch to.
Slomin, it is the sponsor of our show. So,
okay.
All right. So let's
listen. Jalen Waddle.
Let's hear about any competition out there. All right, buddy.
No, we don't want that.
Okay.
Here's one thing I thought about. The Dolphins play at the Saints in 12 days. All right.
Yes.
A huge concern has to be Jalen Waddle will probably be cleared and feeling fine by then.
Mm-hmm.
But God forbid he's not. Right.
If he's vaccinated, he should be. If he's vaccinated, hopefully he'll be fine. Which I think he is vaccinated, right? I think.
We don't have any information that would lead us to believe that he's not.
Right. So hopefully he'll get there. But you're right. If something lingers, because there's no chance he can clear this week. The only chance now, and they don't tell you, right, Joe? They don't tell you that. Hey, Philip Lindsay tested negative today. If we get one more tomorrow, they don't tell you. They don't tell you until after they've tested twice, and then they'll clear them. So there's still a chance, right, that we might see one of those backs or 2 of those backs back this week, right?
Yeah, and also reportedly the NFL and NFLPA have discussed as the possibility of as early as this week allowing a player who's been vaccinated and or boosted, I'm not sure about the boosted part, to return with 1 negative rapid test as late as Sunday morning. That would be great, in my opinion. I hope that change happens. Let's let a guy who gets that negative rapid test as late as Sunday morning come back.
All right. So, Joe, players are complaining that the NFL took away daily testing, and that's why some of this has also happened. Have you heard anything that they are going to bring back daily testing? Because, you're headed down the home stretch now. Some teams are fighting for a playoff spot. This could end up costing you a playoff spot. Why not take more precautions?
Big O, isn't it fascinating? Some folks, like the NFL Union, the NFL Players Association, they want daily testing. And then other folks, not saying the league, but just, some fans, they say, let's have no testing. They say the only reason there's all these positive tests is because we're testing. Now, there might very well be truth to that.
Yeah, but that's not logic.
No, thank you
There's
for
no logic. Oh, we're testing more. That's why there's positives. So aren't we supposed to unearth the positives?
We agree on this one.
More? I mean,
yeah, we agree on this one. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that going to daily testing or going to every other day testing is a waste of time. Certainly, you would catch more negatives and prevent some spread.
For sure.
But, these things are collectively bargained. And I think, the owners have to pay for this. And now I'm not saying it's a financial issue, but it's kind of a catch-22 because if you do test every day, you're going to have maybe twice as many starters out on Sunday. And I guess from the league's perspective, they don't want that.
Right. By the way, Waddle is tested positive. It's not a close contact thing.
Right.
Correct?
If you go on the list,
that
means you're positive. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Otherwise, you don't go on the list if you're vaccinated.
So there's no chance. Waddle will definitely be out this week. And then now we're hoping that because Lindsey and Gaskin also tested positive. So then we got to hope that they test double negative here over the next couple of days.
And you may have seen this on social media. The Dolphins starting today have shifted to the virtual meetings.
Yes.
So the players will practice, but they're meeting virtually and we'll also engage with them, obviously, in a virtual format, which is tough. Look, there's not a huge difference between talking to you on Zoom and talking to you in a room with masks 6 feet away. There's not a huge difference. But I do wonder and fear, like, okay, when are we getting back in the locker room? When is there going to be some semblance of normalcy? This is a second season now. Impact. I don't know if the fans understand, that the stories that we tell and the interviews that they're just not as good without the open locker room.
Right. Yeah. No, definitely.
I don't know if they get that. I don't think a lot of guys and gals get that.
I think they do. I think we see that the coverage is not as personal anymore. We're not getting nearly as much insight on the human being at times because you guys aren't in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Sure, on the flip side, we can also say maybe we're not getting as much dirt either and all that stuff. But I think we would be finding out a lot more cool stuff and more personal stuff about players if you guys were in the locker room. And I realize that because I've been in the locker room a long time also. So I know the work that you guys do every single day and appreciate it. That's why I've created the only platform that actually makes money for riders.
And it is successful and we do appreciate it. It's a good opportunity. It's funny if I type my name into Google, which we all do, anybody who says they don't is lying. My daughter does this too. She's 9 years old. Your podcast, your video podcasts and shows, they're right at the top of the search.
Of course.
And so that makes it easy for my daughter she likes to watch the show actually.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, she does.
I knew we had at least somebody watching, so that's awesome. There you go. Good stuff.
By the way, I'm picking the Dolphins to win by 9. So Dolphins to cover the spread if you can still get 8.5. Now the Waddle news,
without Waddle and everything.
So the Waddle news is a little concerning, but I'm still going to go with Tua Tagovailoa making fewer big mistakes than Zach Wilson. I like Brian Flores and Josh Boyer against the rookie quarterback.
I agree. Is his hot mom coming down? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of when people put out things that people sent them on Instagram that are nasty and things like that. I don't know.
Oh, I don't care about nasty. I'm just saying she's a good-looking woman. That's all I'm just saying. She's just a good-looking woman. It's just it's got to be bad for
Zach Wilson is a handsome young man. I saw a picture with him and Christian Pulisic. It was interesting. The Jets are one of the teams that got UK, England as one of their places that they're going to be able to market their team. I can tell you the Miami Dolphins are much more popular in England than the New York Jets.
Oh yeah, by miles, dude. You know how many We have people that are watching right now in England right now. They're constantly reaching out to me about the show and all that. They love the show and all the insiders that we have on the show here. So
I was reminded that the UK is more than England, so people got mad at me about that. People get mad at me a lot, Big O. Sometimes, but that's all right. I got to deal with it.
You think I haven't felt any of that anger in 31 years, my brother?
Mike Gesicki said yesterday he'd like this. He didn't point out these guys, but the Skip Baylesses and the he didn't say Skip Bayless, but we know the Skip Baylesses and the who's the other guy? Colin Cowherds.
Yeah, Cowturd.
He would like them to pick a side on Tua, which is funny because that goes completely against their shtick, and it is a shtick.
Yes.
Those guys literally have shticks.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if the viewers understand that.
Yes.
I'm not a shtick guy. I just kind of try to say what I feel at the moment, and
That's
sometimes that opinion and analysis can evolve and even change. But it's not a shtick. It is literally what I think.
You and I are the same thing. Same thing. I say my opinion and period. That's where it ends. It ain't no shtick. I'm not trying to stir it up or anything like that. I say what I feel, and it's over there. All right, Joe, we will talk pregame as we get ready for the Dolphins and the Jets. Appreciate you as always. Have a terrific end of the week, my friend. We will catch up on Sunday.
Good to see you, bud.
You got it. There you go. The great Joe Shad and our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All right, we are back. We thank Joe Shad as always. Appreciate it. You think about it, man. Not for nothing, Sean, but okay, so it's Omar Kelly now. It's Joe Shad. It's Alan Poupart. It's Cameron Wolf and myself. I mean, I don't know where you're going to get five guys talking about the Dolphins better anywhere even close. You know what I mean? It's not even close. So it's pretty cool to see. You know what's the next thing I got to do now? I thought about this. I want to get a Dolphin roundtable once a month with all the guys and myself together somewhere. And we go at some bar somewhere once a month, and we have a big old Dolphin get together, and fans can gather around, have some fun, and we go at it, and we talk about whatever the hot Dolphin subjects are. I think that would be an absolutely monster show.
Just five guys talking fins.
Like once a month. We do it at I don't know which bar we'll do it at or what place we'll do it at, but somewhere where a bunch of people can show up and join us. I think a lot of people would show up for something like that. I think they would love to do stuff like that,
I'm sorry, I'm going through the comments and people are blaming Tua, and then somebody just out of the bottom is, I blame Shaheen.
Yeah.
I started laughing when I saw that. It was C. Dola, of course.
C. Dola. There you go. Andre says, Portugal presente. The more I read about Portugal, it's like a really good place to live, by the way. You know that? It's like all I hear is good things. And by the way, it's very crypto friendly. Also Portugal, which I like. But apparently supposedly life is good in Portugal. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. What else do we have? Pallet Rack City needs to redesign their logo. What's a rack? What do you, how do you dress up a rack, my brother? It's like, you want tits on a rack? Is that what you literally want?
They want the actual rack.
You want racks? Come on. What do you want, dude? You need a mustache and a beard? You need a cigar, a pipe? A joint? How do you dress it up? It's a rack. You can't do anything about it. Oh, Lordy. People will complain just to complain about anything, bro.
Chris L's a little late to the game. He's asking, is Waddle out?
Yes, Waddle is out. Breaking news. Yes, we had it earlier on the show. Joe Shad breaking that Waddle is out. If this happened, we were facing Tennessee or New England this weekend, we'd definitely be in trouble and be definitely happy it's the Jets. Yeah. But I'm telling you, I like, as I've pointed out over the last couple of weeks, the way the kid has adjusted to playing in chaos, which most of the quarterbacks that we've had here over the years cannot do that. And so it sucks to lose Waddle. Nobody can do what Waddle does on this team, okay? I'm never going to tell you, oh, we're going to replace him and we're going to watch this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, but I think you have a smart enough quarterback that will find the open guy on a consistent basis. Now, it's up to them now to catch the damn ball and make plays. It's up to Albert Wilson not to run behind the first down marker. You understand? It's up to Preston Williams, if his sorry ass plays, to actually hang on to the ball. You know, if Parker's going to play, hey, finish the game and make some plays. He makes plays whenever he plays. I'm just saying, finish the game. They need you, dude. Use Gesicki. Don't ever take him off the field in this game. I don't want to see Gesicki standing on the sidelines unless it's fourth down and you're punting, kicking, or going for a short yardage, touchdown or something. Outside of that, his ass better be in the lineup on a consistent basis. So I think Tua can ball out enough that you'll win this game, but everybody else has got to do their job. In other words, I'm not worried about Tua in this game screwing up the game. If I had to be concerned, I would have to be concerned about some of the offensive players screwing up this game. I don't expect the defense to screw it up. I don't expect Tua to screw it up. But everybody else, and including the offensive coaches, that's my concern right now, because Waddle and Tua and Gesicki have just been an absolute giant eraser for all these people that don't know anything to do over there in Dolphins camp, because you got a terrible offensive staff. I am Logic says, I'm going to be in New York for the next few days on vacation. Are the Jets fans at the bar going to clown me for wearing Dolphin gear? Well, the best part is that you will clown them when you walk out with the W. That's all. That's it. So really, in the end, you are going to laugh last. Big O, I worry about your safety going to broadcast in the jail.
We're not going to Gin Pop. I mean, they're gonna put us in isolation or something.
Yes, exactly. We're in isolation. We'll be all by ourselves. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. All right, Ian from Brooklyn. Damn, no Waddle for this game is going to be, and he's got, I don't know what face is there. I can't tell. It's so small. Parker, Wilson, Gesicki have to step up. No questions asked. I agree, Kevin. Darren says, plenty of passes to go around with Parker, Gesicki, Hollins, running backs, and tight ends. I agree. And I like what Joe said. You do have a bunch of tight ends. Use them. So, yes. Big targets, man. Make life a little easier for Tua there. Give him big targets. Oh, if Herbstreit was clearly the catalyst for the change at UM, does he deserve a statue on the campus or stadium? I'd give it to him. I got no problem. Even though I was saying what Kirk Herbstreit was saying for years, way before Kirk Herbstreit. But yeah, man, no doubt. Herbie should be celebrated whenever he has a what's that Saturday thing that they do? The kickoff thing or College game day. So if they do a college game day and it comes down here, which it will now with Mario here, then when Herbstreit's here, there's no doubt he's going to get
key to the city, everything else.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, if I'm Cristobal, like I'm taking him to like a hell of a steak dinner the night before he comes here. Like Friday night, maybe I'm inviting him over and we're cooking him like a royal Cuban steak dinner and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Treat him to like, hey, thank you. Hey, thank you.
Remember,
Herbie, thank you.
In his opening comments during the press conference, he thanked Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah, well, he should. He should. Let's see. What else?
Bring over for Cajachino, right? I mean, they got to get the Cajachino going.
That's it, bro.
Come on.
And they should have you cooking it.
Oh.
Nobody can separate from defenders as well as Waddle does. I hope Parker stays healthy and Gesicki better earn his paycheck. It's a good opportunity to show the Dolphins he's worth a long-term extension. Irving Figueroa, let me remind you something. He's outperformed his paycheck. Okay. Let me remind you again. He's outperformed his paycheck. He's not the guy you ever say that about. You want to say Will Fuller try to earn some paycheck? Okay. You want to say Parker come earn your paycheck because you're constantly out with injuries? I'm with you. Gesicki's the last guy I am ever going to pick on with effort and production and all of that. He's a monster. He doesn't have more numbers because they don't use him enough. It's not his fault. Okay? So let's not ever say about Gesicki, earn his money. No, he's earned his money. He deserves more money. He deserves a big fat ass raise. And I hope he's a Dolphin for life. Okay? Trebolio, I predict, unfortunately, a Finns loss to the stinking Jets, a defensive game 12-9 loss. That's all right. He had Bitcoin down to 20,000, so it's all right. Predictions aren't Tremolio's thing, so don't worry about it. I actually feel even better about the Jets now. I mean, about the Jets game now with that prediction.
It's more about, come on, you think Jason Sanders is going to hit 3 field goals the way he's kicking?
Yeah, that's true. That's right. That's a good point.
Get a touchdown and a safety.
Yes, you're right about that. We're going to have some touchdowns. But I'm not going with any Tremolio prediction. Tremolio predictions don't really happen much. So I feel even better about the Jets game now. I'm telling you. Big O, who do you think Tua goes to most now since Waddle is out? I think it'll be Gesicki. I do. Gesicki, Parker. I think there's a chance Parker. Parker. I'll go Parker, then Gesicki. Yeah, because if Parker's healthy and playing, he's productive, dude. When he plays, he's a solid receiver. He makes plays. His body can't hold up, but he makes plays. So I'll go Parker because there's a lot of confidence, and because that slant is something that he is so good at, and Parker loves it. I can see them cashing in on 4 or 5 of those alone in this game. Dougie Fresh says, I keep forgetting to tell you how dope it was watching you interview Leslie Visser. Oh, yes, it was dope for you and a pleasure for me because she's a legend. She's somebody I look up to in this business, obviously. She's so accomplished. Her husband also, they're both Hall of Famers, dude. Dick Stockton and her. Give me a break. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, it's great to have, great to talk to Leslie Visser. She's just awesome. Tank McBride says, Big O, Zach Wilson will be throwing to his favorite receiver this week, Byron and X. I like it. Eventually have a UFC card with all the local beat writers. A UFC card with the local beat writers.
I think he wants the beat writers to fight.
Oh, he wants the beat writers to fight. Okay, I got you.
Put a UFC card together with the beat writers.
I got you. Okay. Sure, there'll be a lot of ugliness in those rings. God. Watching people like us fight. Oh my God, that is terrible.
Like the early days of Strikeforce on CBS.
I don't even think it's that good. Oh God, it would be terrible. Jet giving up 30 points per game. We at least scoring 3 TDs no matter how depleted we are. Captain Kirk Merry. I think you're talking about Kirk Merritt. Yeah, I would like to see Kirk Merritt too. So it's like they just don't give him enough time to play. It's weird. And with all the injuries and people missing, I would have played Kirk Merritt more this year. It's a great year to find out if he can play. We're going, this is his second year, and we don't get to see enough of him so you can find out whether he can play or not. You know what I mean? It sucks, actually. Big O, what the hell happened to Preston Williams? What do you want me to tell you, my brother? He's just a waste. Dawson says we should still win Sunday. I mean, we're playing the Jets. But this is annoying now, Waddle, too. I mean, we're in a pandemic, bro. I know there's a portion of you all that are still in denial, and there's still 1,000 people dying a day, and they're the non-vaccinated people. 99% of them are non-vaccinated. And so I know that there's a portion of you that still are not believing that this is actually a pandemic. But, man, I don't know how long it has to last for you not to believe it, man.
Well, not that, but we're one of the teams not being hit as hard. I mean, we're getting hit.
No, now
Washington,
we are.
The football team had 18 players at the beginning of the week on the COVID list.
Yeah, and the NBA is having a ton of problems. I mean, what was it, 75 players through yesterday. I don't know today where we're at now, because obviously you're adding Waddle here. They're adding, I'm sure, players all over the league.
That's my one question I had, because when I was reading the story, it says most of the tests they're doing for the vaccinated players, because they get tested once a week, are done on Monday. So are they not getting the results back until now?
No, they get them back right away.
So then he would have been testing daily then?
This is why they should be testing daily, because by Monday, dude, you've gone out and done things. You could catch it by Friday.
Then that, to me, tells me that he might be unvaccinated then, because he's doing daily tests. If he just came back as positive, because they're only testing the vaccinated players once a week.
Okay.
If he's testing positive now, that means he had to have done a daily test, right? Or they're just getting.
They got it. Yeah, he
Monday.
tested on Monday. He probably got it on Wednesday, and it came out today.
Okay.
That's probably what it is.
Okay.
That's probably what it is. So 48 hours later, you get it, and so now you find out, and now he gets out.
Yeah.
So now and probably they also waited to today to take another test this morning to see if it was another positive before they revealed it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not a false positive on Wednesday. So they probably had to make sure it's a positive. So then they made sure that it is a positive. So then you now are definitely on the list.
Okay.
So I would imagine that there was a little bit of that also going on. They just don't tell us, but I'm assuming that they have to then back
there's got to
up.
be some kind of steps. You can't
just like you have to back up the negative test, you need to back up the positive test with another positive. So I'm sure they did it. They just don't tell you this right now, but that's probably what it is. So, yeah. Josh says, I hope I see Mac Hollins, a.k.a. Oronde Gadsden, play. Would be nice, man. Would be nice. We need an Alindo Mare contract ASAP, man. Hey, but you know what? At least we're going to be able to do the Munson Mash. The Graveyard Smash, the Munson Mash. Because, they were awarded Calvin Munson yesterday, the linebacker. So they picked him up off New England in waivers. So now they'll be able to do the Munson Mash. They'll be fine. They signed Damon Arnett. They activated Sheldrick Redwine, who I think that's the one that starts at free safety if Holland is out. So I think you're going to get that too. Because I wouldn't start some of the other guys that they have. I think they're more strong safeties. I don't trust Justin Coleman, although he has played better the last couple of weeks. I will say that. Rowe, I would never play a free safety. Now, if Jones cannot come back, Brandon, then I'd play Eric Rowe at strong safety. That I can see. But at free safety, I kind of rather give Sheldrick Redwine a little bit of an opportunity there, and maybe that's why they activated him, because that's what they're going to do. All right, we got hour number 3. Let me take a quick break here. Let's get hour number 3 going. We are coming to you live from Hialeah Park Casino. Come on out here, man. It is the second floor poker room. That's where we're at. Come on by and say hi. Would love to meet you. Let's take a quick break. Back with more right here on the Big O Radio Show.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make a difference.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found on flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Big O. Protect your home the way we do with Slomin's home security, folks. And if you want some great news, how about this? A free doorbell camera. That's right. The first 40 Big O listeners who dial 1-800-ALARM-ME will get this limited time offer of a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone with installation of your Slomin's Shield. And that's not all, folks. Slomin's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 Big O listeners to call 1-800-ALARM-ME, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin's Shield. Keep your family safe like we do here in the Alzigari family. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. For over 25 years, South Floridians have counted on Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises for their roofing needs. In South Florida, we battle the sweltering heat, rain, winds, and all kinds of tropical storms. That's why when it comes to protecting your family, home, or business, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs. All work fully guaranteed with the customer's complete satisfaction. A-plus rated member of the Better Business Bureau. Licensed and insured. There's no buts about it. When your roof needs repair or replacement, go to TommyBButtsJrEnterprises.com. A certified widening contractor. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, hour number 3 of the program coming to you live from beautiful Hialeah Park Casino. Come on out, baby. We got big boxing match coming up. Yes, next month, January 28th on a Friday, the 22nd at 6 p.m. here at Hialeah Park Casino.
Johnny Argalagos, and taking on Michelle Banquez. And Johnny, by the way, is 8-0 with 4 KOs. And ranked number 15 in the WBA, Cuban fighter, by the way. George Romero is 21-0-1, another Cuban fighter with 13 knockouts. Ariel Perez de la Torre, La Máquina, is 6-0 with 5 knockouts, taking on Gianni Garcia, who is 3-1. Abraham Martinez, a Mexican, who is 9-0-1 with 7 knockouts. El Colorado. He's taking on Orestes Velasquez, who's 2-0 with 2 KOs. So a lot of really good young boxers on this boxing card, and it is coming up at the end of the month of January. So we're going to do hopefully some traveling, and then we'll race back over here to do the boxing while we're out here. So it'll be interesting to see if we can pull off a bunch of things that we want to pull off here towards the end of the month. And January will be very, very busy for all of us. Joseph Marks is asking me, Big O, did you invite Lisa Wilson to the Sports Grill this weekend? I should do that, Joseph. That would be the proper thing to do, being a good host, right? Your guests are coming to town, and we figure Lisa Wilson is probably, the only Jet we really want to invite over. So yeah, why not? Yeah, I'm with you. I think we need to officially send her out an invitation to come join us at Sports Grill on Bird Road and 114th, in which I encourage all of you out there to come on out to Bird Road and 114th and join us for the broadcast. We start at 11 a.m. You can't get in at 11. You get in at noon is when they open the doors. So come on in at noon. We get ready for the 1 o'clock kickoff. We'll watch the game. We'll cheer on the Dolphins. And after the game, we will have the press conferences from Flo and Tua. We will take your questions too. By the way, if you're at the bar and you want to come up and ask a question during the pregame show, during the postgame show, all you got to do is walk up to the table, ask Sean, and he'll hand you the mic, and he'll pot it up when the time is right. And there you go. You can ask away. So if you got a question, whatever, you got a comment, you're complaining about something that the Dolphins are doing, you're loving something that the Dolphins are doing, like to hear that, send it in, man, when you're there at Sports Grill. So, and listen, I walk around Sports Grill and talk with all of you out there. So I always come on out, man. Love to meet you guys, take a picture, all that good stuff that we normally do when we're out there. Please come on out to Sports Grill on 114th and Bird Road. Big O, you need to love on from the old news of coins and vax, more on to the new drama, crisis, scare news, climate. I already talked climate. You missed it, Trevolio. I was already talking about climate the other day. I was talking about how you look at the East Coast, you go look at all the middle of the country, and then you look at the West Coast. Right? And all you have are hurricanes, fires, droughts, tornadoes, floods, everything else. You go look at the middle northern part of the country, whether Wisconsin and Minnesota and those areas, all they get is the snowstorms. That's it.
Yeah, I think with your conversation, you either scared Manny Navarro or you you had Manny, I think, moving.
Yeah. I scared a few people there. I actually got some text later on the 855-912-1056. It's like, damn, dude, that was like shocking reality. And I go, I'm sorry, So you missed that conversation we had the other day, Tremolio. How I told people, notice how hurricanes are going more and more north now. So it's not just us in the Carolinas. No. Now New York and New Jersey and Boston, all those, they're going to get more storms. Why? Because the waters are getting warmer and warmer. So then storms are going to be able to go farther north than they ever have because the waters are going to get warmer. So you missed that conversation, my brother. That's why I mentioned up in the middle northern corridor of our country. That's probably the safest part of our country for climate crisis. So there you go. All right. So that's a recap for you. You have no idea what you're talking about climate. Okay, but first you have to first spell it before you can actually talk about it, Tremolio. Okay, talking and talon is two different things. Talon was fired a couple of months ago from the Panthers, and so an idea is not ideas. You're too fast. Yeah, I know. I have no idea what I'm talking about climate. When there's a snowstorm in the mountains of Hawaii and barely any snow in Colorado. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. All the rivers in Colorado are all drying up. Of course. Nothing's going on. It's all normal. Life is normal, bro. It's normal. Don't worry about it. This is just normal part of life. All these things happened 20 and 30 and 40 years ago. All right, what else do we have? Dolphins, by the way, are favored by 10 points for the game. There he is. Okay, you got it. All right. So Dolphins are favored by 10 points. Jets over and under game is 42. Dolphins are minus 450. Jets are plus 350. Remember, Sports Grill, 11 a.m. Well, they open at noon. So noon, Sports Grill. So join us there. And if you don't know, they activated Sheldrick Red Wine. They signed cornerback Damon Arnett. I already talked about it in the first hour. So if you didn't hear my comments on Damon Arnett, I had a lot to say there. You'll want to check it out. And then they were awarded Calvin Munson, the linebacker off waivers from New England. We've had him here. So it is time to do the Munson mash. So you can do that, folks, which is a beautiful thing. What else? ESPN Plus tonight or Fox Sports, whatever. You got the Panthers in action taking on the Kings at Florida or FLA Live Arena at 7 p.m. Panthers have a slew of COVID issues also. They're going to be missing several players, so that's not going to be good. All right. Heat, man, that was a beautiful game last night. That was a lot of fun. The thing about the Heat that I love as a fan, for me personally, and some of the things that I've admired so much about Pat Riley, and we can complain about little things here and there that have happened in 25 years. And there's a couple things. But overall, it's been a marvelous quarter century with Pat Riley. And it's marvelous to watch the winning. It's marvelous to go to the playoffs and win the division a bunch of times and go to the Eastern Conference Finals a whole bunch and win the title 3 times. And it's amazing to watch Udonis Haslem lose 70, 80, 100 pounds, whatever the hell he lost, and become one of the great players in franchise history and become the icon that he's become, and watching Dwayne Wade and all these great stories, right? And then we're watching the development of all these young players, the development of coaches from Van Gundy to now Spo, all under the Riley tree. It's just been, whether it's the Rex Chapman 39 points against a Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen team coming to town, and you've got 8 guys available to play, and you go and have one of the performances of a lifetime. And we're watching, Caleb Martin about a week ago just put on like a show. And last night we watched Gabe Vincent do this, and you're shorthanded, a game that probably you should lose. They've got Embiid, and somehow or another you come up with this magical effort. And the Heat are the organization that you never count out. The Heat is the organization that every fan that follows them has incredible pride in what they do, because they can come through in moments when you don't think, and they come through in the moments that you expect. And yeah, we've had heartaches, whether it's Allen Houston's shot bouncing around or watching San Antonio dismantle Miami in the finals. And yeah, there are the moments, and losing to Dallas, and I get that, and Magic losses and things like that. So we've had our share of heartache, which you're supposed to have, in a long period of time with somebody like Riley. You're going to have way more great moments than bad moments. And that's what last night was. It's just another one of those files that we put in and we say, pretty amazing, pretty amazing effort. Pretty amazing how they continue to develop players, all of these things. It's just so damn impressive. So what did I hear there? Oh, okay. All right. So I'm so, last night it was just one of those where you just felt like, wow, this is why I love this team so much. This is why I can blindly follow them at times. This is why I can say, even if I don't think they have a chance, they still may have a chance because it's the Miami Heat, because they're a great organization, because they're always so well put together. And yeah, they're not going to hit gold every single time, but man, do they hit gold more often than not? Do they entertain us more often than not? Do they come through more often than not? And they're always, always reliable, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. And that last night was just another one of those examples. And again, as a Heat fan, you watch, Duncan grow up and you love it. And you watch Max Strus grow up and you love it. And you watch Udonis Haslem grow up and you love it. And Bam and Tyler and the development of all these kind of players. Just, it's really, really cool to see. Last night was one of those, again, just, wow. You sat back and you say, this is just one of those teams. This is why we were sitting there 2 years ago in the bubble, and they, even injured, took the Lakers to 6 games. And we will all sit there for the rest of our lives till our dying day, and we'll say, what if they were healthy? Because it's not a sure thing that they lose. They might have won it all if they were healthy. It's that series will be, for me, the same way I will think of Ohio State and the stupid ass, ugly ass call by the referees that cost them a national championship, or the Fiesta Bowl where Jimmy Johnson refused to just hand the ball off to Alonzo Highsmith, and you would easily win that game. It's going to go down like that. It's one of those frustrating moments. But last night, man, was just awesome. Last night reminds you why you love the Heat. Really cool. Really cool. Tomorrow, by the way, they're at Orlando. So let's go. Take care of the damn Magic. Don't let that one go by. All right? Robert Kiefer says, Urban Meyer. Yeah, Robert, you got to rewind, my brother. We talked to Herb. We talked to Herb there. Let's see. Love how the guys you never heard of become good players on the Heat. That is true. Orlando, there were tornadoes in Minnesota and Wisconsin yesterday. No, I know it's that storm that went by, but that's not something that you get common over there. That's my point. It's not something that happens like it happens in Oklahoma. You know what I mean? Like it happens in the Midwest all the time. And all the time you'll have fires out west, and all the time, and now you're getting droughts. These lakes and these rivers out west have never been as low as they've ever been. This is like, it's unheard of. Like Hoover Dam, that Lake Mead is where it's at when they first filled it back then. It's like, it's terrible. It's bad, man. But whatever. I mean, hey, listen, I get it. You'll have your people that are in denial about everything, dude. And they just don't believe there's a pandemic, and they don't believe in climate change either, right? They just think that all of this is just normal, So it is what it is. Today is going to be a great game for TNF. Were you watching, Big O? You must have at your home a great man sports cave with dolphin gear. My uncle has one insane. He has a New York Giants man cave. I have my studio. I don't really have. I had my. I still have it. I just never use it anymore. I have my garage is a man cave, but I rarely use it anymore now. All the TVs are down. I took them all down because they're old. So I'm just sitting in the living room now watching the television, and I got a second television there, and that's it. But the 5 TV man cave setup that I had, it's gone. I gotta rebuild it now with some modern TVs, with smart TVs. These were all older TVs. So I got rid of it. So I am in the process of rebuilding my man cave. Let's see. Is there any chance the Dolphins can win without Waddle on Sunday, or do we count on this as a loss? Oh, no, I think they're going to win, Zachary. Why would you feel like that? Not at all. They're going to win. I have confidence that the Dolphins will win. It won't be easy because it's the Jets. It's a divisional game. I wouldn't give the 10 points. You know what I mean? But I think they'll win. I have confidence that they'll win. I don't feel like they're going to lose. I'm lost, though. Ira said vaccinated players can't spread COVID. How are teams like the Panthers having outbreaks? Now, he didn't say that. Vaccinated players can spread COVID. Anybody can spread COVID. The vaccination allows you to defeat the virus without going to the hospital or ending up on a ventilator. All the people dying are the people that are not vaccinated. That's what the vaccine does. And then it's up to you to then wear your mask and, try to protect other people. If you're going to be around other people in big groups and things like that, then do that, or keep your distance. If you're going to be out in public or whatever, we're away from everybody here. It's just me and Sean. We don't really have people hanging around us here. You know what I mean? So it's really how you live your life. So you've got to, make decisions. If you want to be in crowded areas unmasked, then there's a chance. Unfortunately. That's all. That's just the way it is. But vaccinated people can get it. It's just it doesn't kill you like it does unless you're unvaccinated. And that's been proven over and over and over again. 99% of the people dying in hospitals are unvaccinated. So that's it. That's what it does for you. Vaccines aren't going to be the ultimate, panacea to everything. It's not going to protect you in the sense that you're never going to catch it, you're never going to spread it, or anything like that. You still can do that, but you got to be somewhat responsible. That's why this will live for a while. We're going to have this for a while because as long as ignorance exists, it's going to last. It's just the way it is. I mentioned it 1,000 times already. Polio lasted for decades with a vaccine. It takes a while to eliminate it. May not last decades because we have, technology is way better nowadays and we can get the vaccine to places that we never could before. But, it's gonna be with us for a while. We're gonna have to live with this for a while, unfortunately. If Spo took Crowder off and put Bam or a taller player on him, might have won. Spo took Crowder off and put. What are you talking about? Last year? No. Last year with the injuries, once they lost Bam and Dragon, and Dragon came back, he wasn't even close to being himself, and neither was Bam. So, once those guys went out, dude, they were done. If that's what you're talking about last year. Tonight should be a fun offensive game like Rams-Arizona game was. We will get to see a Dolphin game like that, the old Jets-Dolphins games back with Marino. By the way, I don't even know. What's tonight? Somebody was mentioning Thursday night game. I don't even know what the game is tonight. You know that? By the way, it's been so depressing without that Seminole Hard Rock app. God, I love that Seminole Hard Rock app. That was so much fun. Allowed me to keep up with everything a lot easier. Can you post a pic on Twitter how the 5 TV setup look? Brother, why don't you just put on the search engine? I wonder if it comes out Big O Show Man Cave. And it might be there.
Your boy's on tonight.
Who's on?
Justin Herbert.
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs Chargers.
Uh-huh. Chiefs Chargers. That's not bad, actually. It's actually a pretty good game.
KC favored by 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Chiefs Chargers. I wonder if in the search engine it'll come out. Let me see. Big O Show. And then I put Man Cave. I've taken those pictures before, but I don't know if it's still there. Let me see. You never know. I've been on Twitter a long time. And photos. I don't see anything here. No, I don't see it here. I'm trying to see if it's there because I know I've posted it, so it could be there. Although I put TVs and my dogs came up. Yes.
Joe Shad just posted an interesting stat.
What did he put?
The Dolphins leaders in yards per offensive touch in 2021 are. He put two names. Can you guess them?
Yard per catch?
Yards per offensive touch.
Per offensive touch. I'm going to go Gesicki, and I'm going to go Jakeem Grant.
Wrong and wrong. It's Mac Hollins at 14.1 and Isaiah Ford at 13.8.
By the way, lots of love to Isaiah. He's always ready, dude. I got to give a lot of love to Isaiah Ford.
Two guys that barely touch the field.
Yeah, I know, and they come through every time. Yeah, I put big old man cave or whatever, and my dogs came out. Two of my dogs at least, Ollie and Flash. Astor comes out. Two of my beautiful doggies. Oh, and there's Maiden. There's Maiden resting on a pillow. There you go, my big girl. She's so good. I love my dogs. My dogs are so awesome, man. And it's so good to just when you get home, you hang out with the wife, and then you got the dogs hanging out, and they're just constantly there giving love. They're awesome, man. Ryan Dunn says, Big O show, maybe Mac Hollins will be given the break he needs to ball out even more this week. Can't cage a monster forever. I'm with you, man. I would love to see more of Mac Hollins. He deserves to play a lot more. And this is a week where you could use him. You know what I mean? Come through big time for you. Let's see, what else do we have here going on in the world of sports? Let's see. Big O says he judges QBs by how they handle controversy. Now Waddle is out. Looking forward to seeing Tua adjust and overcome. Yeah, more adversity for Tua. Like he hasn't had enough already as it is with this garbage offense. Big O, did you see the insane, almost full court shot New Orleans made last night to win the game? I did not. I missed it. I'm sorry. I missed the highlight. I'm not sure. Thomas says, cute dogs, Big O. Yes, they are. They are the Lord's angels. That's what dogs are. You got a dog at home, you have an angel at home. Make sure you take care of that angel, because that angel will be forever in your corner. There's nothing like the love of a dog, man. Nothing. Carlos Segaro says 98% of the people who get COVID survive, period. That's not counting the people who get COVID, don't even know they had it or just get tested. Right, but, of course, the millions that have died already, they're only 1% or 2%. So who cares about them, Carlos, right? Who cares, bro? Think about how ignorant that statement is, Carlos, that you just made. So to you, it's not important who dies because it's a small percentage. It's somebody's father, somebody's mother, somebody's brother, somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's cousin, somebody's uncle. But of course, Carlos, it doesn't affect your world. So you don't care, dude. So who cares if only 1 or 2% of people that get it die? Who cares, dude? But then, of course, Carlos, you conveniently leave out that the 1 or 2% that are dying are pretty much all unvaccinated. My brother, if you want to play stats, you can play stats all you want. I'll play reality. And what you just said there, you just said that the human lives don't matter because it's a small percentage. That's what you just said right there, my brother. No need to put words in my mouth. 98% of the people who get COVID survive, period. That is not counting the people who get COVID and do not even know they had it or just do not get tested. So that's very passive. So you're saying right there that it doesn't matter. 2% die. 2% doesn't matter to you. That's what you're saying. You're saying 98% survive. That's a good thing. Only 2% die. You just said that, Carlos. No, don't go backtracking now, my brother, and putting in 10 texts now. Okay? Because now you're realizing it because I'm exposing your ass. %, my man. You said it, not me. No one said not to care. I certainly did not. What you said it, bro. 98% survive. Maybe you should actually learn how to phrase things. Because that was a cold and callous statement on your part right there. Now, if you want to backtrack and apologize and say, I was wrong, and you know what, it does matter that 2% died, then I'll accept it. But if you're just going to celebrate the 98% that are surviving, screw the 2 that died, Sorry, my brother. I don't have any tolerance for that kind of stuff. So let's talk to my man. Are you ready? You sure? Steve Calabro is ready,
and he is ready with the wise guys picks of the week and everything. So we'll talk to Steve. By the way,
I'm looking forward to this. We are a little about almost 6 weeks away from a great boxing card.
Unbelievable boxing. It's going to be it's every match has at least one Cuban fighter.
Yes, I saw that.
It's like Cuba, a Cuban fighter versus Nicaraguan,
Mexican.
Mexican. There's a couple of there are a few that Cuban versus Cuban.
Yes.
So it's going to be an all Cuban card, so to speak. At least at every match. And January 28th, live. It's back. Live boxing is back at Hialeah Park. That's basically what the message is to your viewers.
I know it's going to be on ESPN too, right? Also,
yeah, ESPN Streaming Plus.
But I didn't mean by ESPN 2. I meant by it's also on ESPN. That's what I meant.
There's like 14 ESPNs.
Yeah, there's
So you got to qualify.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what ESPN it is on nowadays. You know why?
Because
it's a smart TV, dude. Everybody gets on anyway. So
which streaming
Plus
service
News, whatever it is, you're on ESPN.
YouTube,
Most of us
tube,
can.
That tube, whatever tube you want.
Yeah. So one way or another, you'll get it if you have that, of course. But better. There's nothing better than going to a boxing match.
Oh, it's old school fun.
Yes.
It's old school fun.
Right.
First of all, the crowd's going to be pretty excited, right?
Of course.
We're already getting a lot of play on the ticket sales.
Of course.
So, it's going to be a nice crowd. And, when you're watching a live boxing match, I know this is going to sound a little odd, but for people that haven't watched it, when you see a boxing match and it's a good toe-to-toe match, it's really exciting. And then this sounds a little crazy, and I don't like to say it too often, but when you see somebody get knocked out on the canvas, it's like, oh, wow, it's this thing you don't really see, and then you hear the thud. It's a little bit weird. It's some people it's like that sounds disgusting, but it certainly is a pretty interesting thing to watch, and certainly you clap when he gets back up. But when you see it actually happen or hear it happen in live time, real time, live in person. Pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no, I've been to so many boxing matches over the years, and sometimes when I get to go to the Vegas ones, there's nothing like that.
Those big ones there. Look, I grew up, working at Trump Plaza when it was the Tyson days. When I say grew up, I was an executive in the hotel sponsoring the matches, and you're talking about 2 or 3 weeks of like really leading up, press conferences in Fifth Avenue in New York, and press conferences that break out into fights, and Don King's hair 18 feet in the air, and I used to, for years I was like, why does that man's hair do what it does? It's like a very odd look.
What he does is he wakes up in the morning, right, and he puts his finger in a socket.
I think that,
and then that's it, and it's just permanent like that.
I should have talked about this with you years ago because you've answered the question. I've been trying to find out because it is in real life. it's weird. Like,
no,
like,
it's
come on, dude.
It's,
Like,
yeah,
how do you do that?
yeah. But somehow or another, he survives the socket every day, and he's able to do it. And you know what? With boxing, going back to the sport of boxing, I just wish they went back to the basics that the UFC follows now, because Dana White doesn't screw around. He sets up the best fights consistently. And to me, boxing is such a great sport that if you're able to set up the best fights, they would become the bigger sporting events that we have in the world, period. And I don't know how boxing hasn't figured that out, that the promoters have kind of destroyed all of this.
In defense of boxing kind of comes and goes with the character names. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in the early years, and I guess it was the 70s, it was, you know, 60s and 70s, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, all that kind of stuff. And then the years that I was involved, when our casino hotel was sponsoring all those Tyson fights, there were some other great fighters too.
Oh, of course.
You know, there was a lot of good names. You know, Oscar De La Hoya.
Right.
You know, great. George Foreman was kind of like
Hearns, Trinidad, Duran, Arguello. Dude, I know.
Camacho.
Yeah.
One of the greatest. You want to watch
character. Yeah.
You want to watch. You should almost watch the film.
It was a good movie. I saw a documentary.
Well, the movie, but I mean, just watch old fights of that Hector was in.
No, I was at those fights.
And you want to see the 10 minutes prior to the match.
Yeah.
You know, coming out with a fur coat and you know, doing the razzle dazzle. It looked like it was like
Macho was a really good fighter early in his career, man. He was a really entertaining fighter, man.
And we had some great ones. You know, Macho versus Duran.
Sure.
We had you know, George Foreman. Then there was a guy that they had years ago. Anyhow, the fact is there was bigger names back then, and I think UFC is kind of sort of bit into that market, and that's you know, it's unfortunate for boxing, but still, this boxing match is going to be something special because we're in South Florida, we're in Miami-Dade.
Yeah,
it's a Cuban card, and every match is going to be just really interesting to watch,
and the start of others to come too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the beauty.
We were talking with the ownership yesterday. John Bernetti and Steve Bernetti own Hialeah Park, and John was saying yesterday, he goes, you know, it fits for us. We've done well with it, and it fits for us. So that's a real positive thing, and this is going to be one of our better ones.
And what I like is what you guys are doing overall. You're bringing more things to this. This is such an amazing property.
Well, we got
in the middle of Miami. You know what I mean? It's just like a property this size in Miami does not exist everywhere.
No, it doesn't.
Like maybe Doral and this, and I don't know what else. This kind of size.
Yeah, this. Look, it's always been special. It's still special, and it's our job to make sure that we continue to
grow it.
Yeah, do great things and grow it. But back to the next topic, and that's the wise guy.
Oh,
listen, me and him were going head to head. We were yelling and screaming. You know, the Jersey guys kind of do that. That's like a bonding thing. You know what I mean? If you had walked in on us, you would have probably like got in the middle and broke us up. You know what I mean? But I would look. I want to make sure that your listeners understand. In the last 2 weeks, he's 6 for 6. 6 for 6. The Jersey wise guy.
Yes, he is.
I think
had another good week last week.
You know what? When in the argument, when he was giving me his picks for this week, I said, "What'd you do? Did you go and drink for the last 6 days and go on a binge? Did you bang your head?" I'm a little bit crazy, not crazy about his picks. But he's
on a roll.
6. He's on a roll. So who am I, right? Who
right.
am I to say?
That's what I'm saying. Because last week when I'm watching the picks he gave us, I'm like, this guy keeps hitting on all these picks, man.
He's like, how's he doing this, right? And so he's giving me some weird ones this week.
There was one I was against last week. Which one was that? I wasn't. There was one of them. What was the 3 he gave last week? I'll tell you. I'll know which one it was.
Let me go back a little. Remember, I have done a lot of Chiefs, Broncos, and Bucks. Chiefs, Broncos, and Bucks.
Was it the Broncos giving a lot of points?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I didn't like the Broncos.
Yeah, it was the Broncos one. Yeah. I think it was the Broncos one. I like the Bucks one for sure.
Yeah.
I think it was the Broncos one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's the one I didn't like, and he hit it. And he hit it.
I can't wait to hear your opinion on the Jersey Wise Guy picks this week.
Okay, go ahead.
I think he's been drinking for 6 days consecutively. I think he's bumped his head, and we were going toe to toe with it about it. And I have to add to the Jersey picks because I'm so wound up about this week. I have my own little pick.
Okay.
So it's just like a little side pick.
Okay.
For the viewers.
It's the Calibro connection.
It's just the Calibro connection pick.
Okay.
I looked at the line on Monday. I said, I love this game. I was right before I talked to the Jersey Wise Guy. I said, he's got to have this game on his list. Then he didn't have it. I brought it up with him. We argued and screamed, and then we hugged and said, okay, that's it. It's all good. Let's go. So wait till you hear these picks.
All right, let me hear the Wise Guys first.
I think the Wise Guy has he's 6 for 6 though. So what am I saying about the Wise Guy? And I got to be careful. He knows where I live, so I don't want to insult him. He is the Jersey Wise Guy, so I got to be very careful.
Yeah.
So he likes the Panthers. Panthers Bills.
Yes.
He loves the Bills.
Okay, so
10.5 points though.
And they're not playing great.
Yeah, I know, but he thinks that the Panthers are fried.
They are.
They're burnt out. They're
bad.
The fourth quarter could be really bad.
Yeah. No, I can see that, and it's at home too. So
yeah, we were talking about this when I was okay with him, but he said I just don't like the 10.5 points.
I know, I get it.
It's
a lot of points.
That's a lot of points, but he said, look, this is a must. Not just a must win, but it's a must win and a must get some confidence game for the Bills. And he says if they start rolling, they're going to roll it up.
Right.
I think that's what he thinks. Next one, I got to tell you, tough game. I mean, I think he's picked the winner, but once again, another ridiculous points game. Cards at the Lions. At the Lions. He loves the Cards. He's saying Kyler Murray had an off game. Kingsbury's going to
minus 13.
Minus 13.5 in my line. 13. This is insane. But he says he thinks the Lions are literally as bad as any team that he's seen in the last 2 years.
They are bad, but they tend to give him effort, and they tend to play hard, and they tend to lose close a lot of times.
But they look. I don't like.
I'd be careful.
This is one I was arguing about.
It's at Detroit too.
Yeah, and it's at home. Yeah, with Detroit.
All right.
But he said, "No, it's even worse." So this was. I said, "Look, this is when I said I think he's been drinking on a bench for 6 days." Listen to this logic he gave me, and I love him because he's 6 for 6. But he said the line's going to go down, so bet that game. Bet that game as close to the game as possible because Hopkins is going maybe out.
Oh, he's out. He's out. He's done
right?
for the year.
Yes, he's got to get surgery. And
he's done for the year.
So
he's done. He might be available for the playoffs.
Right. So the 13.5, he's thinking it's going to go down.
I see.
See, that's where his thought process goes. So don't bet it at 13.5.
Wait for it to come down.
And watch it come down a little. And
I have it at 13 right now.
Yeah. When we were talking, it was 13.5. I guess the process has already happened. The wise guy would know that, right? So,
okay.
And the next one, this is one of those games. I like the losing side, but another crazy game. Falcons at the 49ers. He likes the 49ers. Another one, -9. I think it was -8.5 at one point, too.
Let's see what I have here. San Francisco, -9.5.
Yeah, so I had -9, right? So,
okay.
So now that's his picks. I just said, listen, wise guy, I'm going to give your picks because you're 6 for 6.
Yeah.
If you were 1 for 6, I probably wouldn't give your picks. I said, but I'm going to give your picks. Now I'm going to give the Calibro Connection pick. So I like, and here, let me preface this pick.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan. I think he's a great quarterback. I'm not a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. I think there's a lot of people just don't like him because he does a lot of things off the field that kind of get, under people's skin a little. But he's a great quarterback. I think Devontae Adams is one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, things are bad for Aaron Rodgers when Olivia Munn is complaining about your actions in bed. I mean,
yeah, that's a bad scene, right?
That woman doesn't motivate you to be Picasso in bed. I don't know what will. But go ahead. I'm sorry as I digress.
Well, my point, things. I guess there's reason for Aaron to complain, right?
Yes,
and to be a little. He can be a little jerky, that kind of thing. But as a quarterback, and when he gets on a roll, man, it's
no, he's a great quarterback, dude.
It's like insane.
It's like watching a video game, is what I say. The way he throws the ball, it looks like a video game.
It looks sort of effortless. It looks like, oh wow, there was a 35-yard pass completion, like it was nothing.
It's a dart.
It's like it was right there. Devontae Adams is like, it's literally catches it in with almost what looks
It's
like
a video game.
Yeah, like
it's a video game. I'm telling you, it's a video game. It's crazy.
I love that pick. So that's
okay.
I hate to confuse the viewers and give a pick that is not consistent with the Jersey Wise guy, but that's it. The Bills, the Cards, and the Niners. Then the little side game. So if you're going to do 3 bets, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bet all 3 games. Then I'm going to do a 3-game parlay because I got to go with the Jersey Wise guy when he's on a roll. And then I'm going to do a 4-game parlay. This is what happens with sports betting. See, so I used to bet keep it 3 games. Then I went to 3 games and the parlay. Now I'm going 3 games, maybe 4 games, and a 3-game parlay and the 4-game parlay. So I went from 3 bets to like 6 bets, right? That's exactly what happens in sports betting. So I don't want to confuse the listeners, but I think they got a little something to noodle this week.
All right. So before I let you go, and I don't want to do this and beat this dead horse every week because I'm not going to do this every week. Maybe I'll do it every month or something. Any news on anything on the sports gaming front?
0.
Okay, yeah, I figured
0. I mean,
this is gonna be so slow. That's why I don't even want to do this every week.
I have a theory.
I know you told me it's gonna drag on.
But I was talking about it last night.
Okay.
So we were out at dinner with a couple casino guys, and so what's going to happen, in my opinion. So obviously, factually, the Seminole Tribe is appealing the judge's decision. That appeal process takes somewhere between 6 months and a year. It could take longer, right? That's 6 months would be pretty much a minor miracle. 9, it would be. It's not.
No, I know.
6 months, right?
I'm just. It's crazy.
9 months to a year is kind of normal. Normal thing. If it took 15 months or a year and a half, don't be surprised. Right.
We needed something for our home, and it took 7 months to get it.
Yeah, it's it's the legal system. It's
7 months,
blah,
dude.
Blah blah blah. It's the best system in the world, but it has its challenges.
No, with COVID now and everything. Oh my God, that's delayed everything in the world, dude.
So here's what I think is going to happen, though. And look, if Steve Calabro knows this, I think that other people might have a similar opinion, and you got to plan for Plan B and Plan C and Plan D. That's what good lawyers do, and I'm sure the Seminole Tribe has some very good lawyers that are behind them on this. I think they're going to take the compact, and they're going to – because what happened was the judge ruled the compact invalid.
Right.
When that occurred, they technically are operating under the old compact, and they weren't allowed to start with craps and roulette.
I think I know where you're going to go now.
So I think what they're going to do is they're going to redo the compact, and they're going to carve out the sports betting thing in some way, shape, or form, so that the new compact immediately could be not immediately, but this legislative session in Florida, they'll agree to a compact before the session. The session will make it law, and they'll get craps and roulette. This is a Steve Calabro opinion, so I mean,
right? No, I get.
Called me up and told me that.
I got you.
Right?
I think I know where you're going.
So they'll get those table games,
right?
And they'll get everything else except
the sports
betting.
Gaming.
And then sports betting will be a sort of
another battle
to the compact, so to speak.
Right.
And then we'll see. Now, what happens with sports betting is the 6 months, 9 months, a year. The weird part about that is, if it takes a year, you can take this to the bank. If it takes a year in the appeal court if they split it out and it takes a year for sports betting to get it resolved with the Seminoles, there's also a chance at that point we'll understand what DraftKings and FanDuel is doing.
Right.
They're going to get their 900,000 signatures. They're going to then probably very likely get it as a ballot question for the state. November will be the election, and we'll see if the state votes it. Now, it's 60%. This is a tough state. Down here, we're down in Hialeah.
No, it's a gimme here. It's a gimme here. It's about Central and Northern Florida, which, and we all know Northern Florida is like not even Not even resembles anything we are.
North Florida is the deep South.
Yeah.
And now the wild card on sports betting is Central Florida, because Central Florida is all the the Disney goody twos,
Disney people,
right? They're the Disney goody twos. But the Disney goody twos, and I say that sarcastically because they want to portray that, but they're not really goody twos. They'll poke your eyes out if it means they're going to make more money. Right?
It's a mean mouse.
And they're mean mouse, right? They're against gambling, but they're not against sports betting,
right?
Because they own ESPN. Oh, why is that? Maybe, what do I always say? Follow the path of money. They happen to own ESPN.
Yeah.
And by the way,
plus they have boats that have casinos.
That's another thing too. But so think about this. So they're okay with me and you putting $500 on the Dolphins to win. Although I don't know, I do it this week because COVID's a little bit got them beat up. But they got $500 on the Dolphins. They're okay. No, I'm sorry, I'm saying it backwards. The Disney mouse is so against if Big O and Steve put $500 down on the Dolphins on the
roulette wheel.
On the roulette wheel. But if they put $500
on the Dolphins, we're good.
Dolphins, no problem.
Right.
Dolphins okay because they own ESPN. But God, I'm gonna go one step further. Okay, if we put $500 on the Dolphins, but if we put $7 on Bet Black on roulette, we're bad people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's total hypocrisy. I mean, I always thought they should have dove straight into it and got into gaming. Downtown Disney would have been the coolest thing going, and you can definitely both exist.
You can separate church and state.
Yeah, and it's
the property is so huge. You can have an area where it's adult driven. Period.
Only. Downtown Disney, which they now are called Miami Springs, not Miami Springs, Downtown Springs,
Disney Springs. Yeah,
but the Downtown Springs would have been better than that. But the so the hypocrisy is a little weird there, but that's what's going. So that's back to the sports betting. I don't know what's going to happen in the center of the state. Orlando would always go against gambling things.
Yeah.
But now maybe they're even if it's a break even there. So they could get 60%.
I wish South Florida would break away from Florida.
Well, that's always another topic.
Because we're really 4 states.
4.
Yeah.
So we got Disney.
We got the Panhandle. We got Central Florida. We got South Florida, and we got the Keys.
I forgot about the Redneck Riviera.
The Keys.
I forgot about the Redneck Riviera.
Yeah,
right.
The Keys are a whole different life, bro. They live a Bahamas-like life. They're chilling and relaxing.
Listen, there's 2 things.
It's all hustle and bustle from there, from outside the Keys on. But once you enter the Keys, you are entering another world, man.
So would it be correct to say there's 2 things? I tell everybody from the north, I said, I'm going to the Keys, and they don't really know what the Keys is, And so I said,
the state of the Keys.
I said, there's 2 things you do in the Keys. You fish and you drink.
That's it.
That's basically it. I mean, I guess you got to eat, but you eat everywhere.
Eat and sex too will be in there somewhere. They're all that's everywhere. But no, drinking and fishing is automatic in the Keys.
No, I happen to like to fish. I'm probably a lightweight in drinking.
Me too.
I'll socialize.
Me too.
I'm a
total lightweight. Yeah.
If everybody's
couple beers and I'm done.
Yeah, I mean,
a drink or 2 and I'm done.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not.
Last night I went to dinner and I had my second glass of wine. I pushed it away. I was like, oh no, I don't want to drink that. Because when you're a lightweight,
and
quickly.
And wine also has a tendency of just kind of dragging on in your body for a longer time. I don't know about you, but I could have some vodka cranberry for I can have a couple of those and I'll wake up solid. I can have a couple of beers. I'll wake up solid. But, man, I have a couple glasses of wine, and I don't know, dude.
Well, I think the key word is draggy. I get like,
I'm
like slow move. I get into slow motion.
Yeah.
So last night I had my little wine. I had dinner. We're talking with a bunch of gaming guys last night, and guys and girls. And so I was worried because I had a glass and a half of wine. So I was starting to get a little tired, that knocks you down a little. So I said, let me have a cup of coffee. The guy brings over, I didn't realize until after I drank it, it was coffee, but it was an espresso, but it was big.
Oh.
So
you got the jolt.
So I sleep like a rock, normally. I hit the sack last night, and my eyes are wide open, and I'm staring at the ceiling. I went downstairs and started streaming something for about an hour and a half. I was like, what a total miscalculation there. But Anyhow,
you were Tony Montana after a mountain of cocaine.
Wild. I was like, what happened to me? You know, but the good. Hey, look, back to the picks. Let's see what the Jersey Wise guy does. He's feeling confident. You know, he's getting a little bit. You know, he's getting a little. I had to like push him around a little.
I don't know, but
you know, he was like, whew,
ballsy.
He's
Bills minus 10.5, Cards minus 13, San Fran minus 9.5. Yep.
Now he's
and the Calibro connection is.
I like the Packers. Packers to win, cover.
Okay.
You know, that's it. I think the spread on the Packers is not too bad. You know, it's like let me look again. I have it right here. 4.5. And the reason is I think the Ravens put a fork in them. They're you know, as good as their record is, I think they're done. There's a chance they may not. They have a good record right now, and there's a legitimate chance in my mind they may not make the playoffs. They could go that bad. I think something's wrong with the Ravens, and they got a great coach, but they got no running backs.
Yeah,
Lamar.
Well, they've lost so many. Yeah, Lamar's not a good quarterback. He's an athlete.
He's got the ankle injury.
He's an athlete playing quarterback.
You know, it's like I don't know. Something's.
He's not the passer, bro. He's not a passer.
He's not bad. He's not.
He's an athlete playing quarterback, and if things aren't the way they need to be around him, he won't be nearly as effective, and that's what's going on.
He hasn't been the last 4 or 5 weeks. It's been a little bit rough.
Well, he's had a mediocre year, period.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him a few weeks ago against the Dolphins, and it was like, who is this?
They attacked him because he can't play that game. He can't make a living from the pocket. He has to make a living with his legs, and then the arm complements the legs. That's why I've never viewed him as a real franchise quarterback. A real quarterback makes a living from the pocket, like Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson make a living from the pocket, but use their legs as a weapon.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback that is trying to play the passing game. And that's the difference between those kind of guys. Murray's a real passer. You know, Russell's a real passer.
Yeah.
Lamar's a thrower.
So
like in baseball, we have those guys that can throw 95, 103, 104, but the ball doesn't move. Yeah. It's either 103 at the top, 103 at the bottom, 103. That's it. But there's not going to be a little dip in 97, 90. They can't do that. You know what I mean? And that's the guy that gets hit once they learn how to catch up to that ball, right? But the guy that can pitch, like Greg Maddux, can throw you at 86 miles an hour and strike you out, making you look silly because you thought it was in one spot and it went to the other spot. So to me, that's what Lamar is. Lamar is the thrower in baseball, whereas Brady, Russell Wilson, Mahomes, they are the pitchers in football.
Look, I agree with you, but I like Lamar. I think.
I love him as a kid, as a human being.
I think
he's super likable.
He's having a weird funk in the last 6 weeks. You know, it's been really weird. It's been really strange. I think
he's that guy, just like Ryan Tannehill is. They need the environment to be perfect in order to thrive. If there's any chaos, they don't have the wherewithal to make others better because they don't have the arm talent, not the distance or the strength of the arm, all that, but the throwing skills to make everybody better. That's their problem. That's why guys like that struggle.
I got 2 more things.
All right.
So I was in the poker room here, and I overheard you talking about the Dolphins this week. Now, Dolphins this week, it's tough. They got COVID problems. You know, Waddle now is on the COVID reserve. You know, this is an issue. You know, I mean, what's your thoughts about the game?
I still think they win.
I think they win.
I wouldn't lay the points. No. I wasn't going to lay the points anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a Jet Dolphin game. No, dude, I've seen too many wacky Jet games where the Dolphins are way better than the Jets and the Jets beat them. And I've seen where the Jets are better than the Dolphins and the Dolphins beat them. So I think the Dolphins win.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I like their defense and I like Tua, and I think he's keeping everything in check. But I don't believe they even win by 10 points. I think they win by 5 or 6, 7 points is what they end up winning.
Coach, but this is what I think they should do this week.
I hope they win by 25, by the way. It would be great.
Well, here's what I think they should do. I think they should blitz on pretty much any and
all
plays they can.
They will. He's a turnover machine.
Yeah. So I mean, look, your offense has got some holes right now. So your defense has to really step up. So they do blitz a lot. which I love to watch the Dolphins.
Oh, they're going to confuse the crap out of that kid.
They have to blitz.
They will.
If they normally blitz 20 times a game, they got to blitz 40.
They got to do what they did to Lamar.
Yeah. They just got to rattle and rattle and rattle. And so that's what I think hopefully happens. But there's one last thing. Now, I'm going to confuse everybody when I say this. So I'm talking to my Jersey Wise guy here, and he said, there was these two other games that I'm not picking. They're not in his top three, but he thinks they're going to be great games to watch. And he actually has. I'm going to mention them because when he listens to this, and if I don't mention him, he's going to yell and scream at me. And like I said, he knows where I live. So anyhow, he likes the Bengals at the Broncos. It's only a 2.5-point spread. He likes the Bengals. He thinks
Bengals are playing good, man.
He thinks that the Broncos are going to put the Bengals are going to put the Broncos out of their misery. They're going to be done for the season. This is what he thinks. And I might make mention of it. It's not the top three. And then I don't even agree a little with the next one. He likes the Colts at home against the Pats. Not even close. Not even close. I think both great coaches, Frank Wright, Belichick. Belichick's going to win that game because he gets the bye, and the bye this year is really, really. He doesn't guarantee him the bye, but man, it puts him in a position to get the byes. So those are two really important games, I think.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Not on the Jersey.
No, I'm with you, and I think the Patriots obviously have done a great job. I think they will struggle in the playoffs now because if the kid can't really light it up, and he can't. They play him in a box, and they don't really put up a lot of points. That'll be a problem when we get to the playoffs.
Right. So that's my point. That's why he needs the
He needs a bye.
He needs the bye, and there's only one to be had.
Yeah.
And it seems like everybody else in the AFC is kind of like piddle paddling. You know what I mean? And
that Patriot defense is good, man. That's the thing. They're playing really, really well, man. Really well.
That's it for don't forget. January 28th, great boxing match.
Yes, we have mentioned it several times, so we're looking forward to it.
Saturday, January 1st, we're giving away a Ford Bronco Sport.
Do they go to HialeahPark.com for tickets?
Yes, but they're not on sale yet.
They're
going to be on sale very soon. Frank's going to make that notification probably next week when we're on the air.
All right, good. All right, good stuff.
All righty.
And we'll have some tickets. We'll give away some tickets too, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So we'll give away some tickets. So those of you that want to join us, we'll be there that night. Sean and I will be out there. We'll be broadcasting, obviously. We'll see what we end up doing. All right. Appreciate you, my brother, as always. Thank you. Thank you. You are the best.
Good. And let's see what happens with this guy.
Yeah.
Because then I could get to push him around a little.
Yeah. But if he pulls those off, it's like I'm banning the mortgage next week then.
All righty.
All right, brother. Take
easy. Care, guys.
You got it, baby. Steve Calbro, of course, the manager here at Hialeah Park Casino. Go to hialeahpark.com. Check it out. Come on out here. Bring somebody special out here, man. Bring the wife, bring the girlfriend, bring the husband, the boyfriend. Come on out here. You can have a good dinner. You can enjoy some gaming action. You can bet on tracks all over the country. I can't wait till we get sports gaming. That'll be good when they add that. And plus, hey, man, you've got Santa's Enchanted Forest here, all that stuff. So they're doing all kinds of stuff out here at Hialeah Park. It's a beautiful thing. What else do we have that I wanted to talk about? Did you see Bruce Springsteen, by the way, sold his music catalog for $500 million? And COVID has put a complete, it has crippled the music industry. The music industry was already crippled because they can't sell their music. Everything is downloaded and stolen and digital and YouTube and everything, and you don't even really have to buy anybody's CD anymore. You can find the song somewhere else. You can download it and load it up onto your player, whatever, and you're good. You know what I mean? And I'm one of the losers that still buys CDs and buys every artist that I love. I buy their CD and I collect it and I read, the sleeve, and I want to know who produced and who wrote the songs, and but I'm that geek, and I'm few and far between nowadays. Okay, more than anything, people are just stealing music. So that's something that now has hurt the industry. And then we've had COVID now for over a year, and it's hurting also touring now because bands can't tour like they used to. They don't have the same access like they used to. They're not making the same kind of money that they used to on the road. So a lot of these artists now are selling their catalogs. And recently, Bob Dylan sold his catalog. What's it called? Just all kinds. Motley Crue sold their catalog. Also, lots of artists have been selling their catalog lately, and they've been selling it for hundreds of millions of dollars. He sold his for $500 million. Okay, 500 million, man. That's impressive, dude. And you know what? I kind of understand why he did it. Because it gets to a point like you can't take it with you. You know what I mean? So might as well get the money in the bank, use whatever you have to use, and then, put the rest for your family and whatever kind of will or something along those lines. Bob Dylan last December sold his catalog for $300 million. Neil Young sold half of his for $150 million this January. David Crosby, Stevie Nicks, Journey, Motley Crue have all cut deals for their publishing rights. So, and it's all this. It says COVID pandemic has caused a dramatic reduction in touring revenue for musicians, and the current dominance of streaming media over physical media sales has put a similar crimp in their royalty payments. I can't work. Streaming stole my record money, Crosby explains via Twitter. I have a family and a mortgage, and I have to take care of them. So it's my only option. I'm sure others feel the same way. All right. And news of the Springsteen deal was estimated worth $415 million, broke in November. His catalog is one of the most lucrative in rock history. He has sold over 65 million albums alone in the U.S., 15 million copies alone from Born in the USA. So he ends up selling his catalog for $500 million. Man, that is... and it's sad too, right? That not that part. That part is good for him, but the part that they can't sell their music anymore. And let me tell you something. This is hurting me. This is hurting you. Any of us that are real music fans and we love music, and if an artist doesn't have the motivation that their music can't be sold, and then they will have less motivations to create new music, and we will have less great music being developed, which really hurts. You know what I'm saying? That kind of, and I'm not talking about older artists, because most of these older artists probably aren't going to have hits again. But still, people that are up and coming, and they see that it's so hard to make it in this business now because the avenues are not there. And can you imagine a new band? You can't even take advantage of touring because they don't know you. And so you can't become a big album or a big, look at what's it called? Honey. What's the name of that band? They're something Honey. They are so good, okay, and they have a hard time getting a contract. I'm brain farting right now their name, but they're kind of a new band, and I saw them in concert about a couple months ago. And I'm forgetting it's something Honey. I'm forgetting the damn name now. I'm brain farting, but they're a fantastic band. That's a band that deserves a contract, and it was Dirty Honey is what it is. Oh, there you go, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Dirty Honey. And so I knew it would come to me one way or another, and they're really good. I mean, if you get a chance to go see Dirty Honey, trust me, okay? They'll be opening up for somebody. Go see Dirty Honey. You will love them. And stuff like that, that's tragic what goes on in the music business with things like that. That a band that good, that talented is struggling to get a record deal. And why? Because it's also hard to sell records. Tough, man. Tough. Dougie Fresh says, Debbie does Honey. Alexander says, Big O, how long you been a fan of, what are we talking about, Dirty Honey? Short time. Not a long time. I was turned on to it by Grieper, by Robert Grieper, my buddy. Huh? Oh, the Dolphins? Oh, since I was a child. Alexander's. Since since I could understand what a football was. So I was not high-fiving, giving five with my dad and all that in the 70, 72, 73, 74 seasons and things like that. So I've been a Dolphin fan my entire life. That's what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about Dirty Honey. I read that Springsteen, Stevie Nicks sold her catalog for about $300 million, and Dylan sold his for $400 million. Well, I gave you the numbers now, but yeah, Springsteen went for $500 million. Let's see. Don't they make a crap ton of money off streaming services? No, they don't. Actually, they don't. I would assume that they make money every time a song plays on Pandora or whatever other streaming services. No, they don't. They don't get like per play or anything. There's like a flat fee that they get, and it's not the kind of money that they normally would have been making. It's bad now. It's bad. It's tough to be an artist now. It really is. It's a shame because it hurts all of us. It's a good way to balance the biz. If you write good songs and ask for a donation, you get paid. If you suck, you don't get paid. Yeah, but still, it's about long term and controlling that song and being able to cash in different ways from it. So yeah, it's not a good business now. It's a terrible business now. Springsteen's not worth $500 million. Whoever bought that hopefully knows what they're doing. People thought Dana White was crazy when he bought the UFC, so we'll see. Springsteen, I don't know if you know, but Springsteen has a lot of songs, right? And it's not just his songs. Like, he's written other songs for other people. Like, in his catalog, the Pointer Sisters' Fire. You know that song? Fire. That song? That song is Springsteen's song. He wrote that song. He gave it to the Pointer Sisters. Okay, so it's not just his songs, it's his songs that he also wrote and that are hits for other people out there. So that's like because the night belongs to lovers, this woman's song, that's Springsteen's song, not hers. That's Patty's only hit in her life. But that's Bruce Springsteen that wrote that song. So when you bought the catalog, you also bought all the other songs he wrote for other people. Remember that. So, because some of you think, oh, well, okay, they bought Springsteen songs. Okay, so they bought all of his. No. When you're buying Prince's songs, you're buying a crap ton of other songs that were for other people, So when you're buying like a Springsteen or a Prince, you're buying an incredible catalog of music that has other things. When you're buying the Bee Gees music, you're buying their music, but you're buying a whole bunch of other songs they wrote for somebody else. Yeah, you need to kind of look that up, songs that Bruce Springsteen wrote, and you're going to freak out on some of those songs. And you go, holy crap, he wrote that song. He wrote that song. It's like, wow, I didn't know that. So, Springsteen's writing songs for Sheila E., for Vanity, for Sheena Easton, for the Bangles. Prince wrote hits for all of them. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what people don't realize. Bruce is so good. Prince was so good. Bee Gees were so good. We do have one left. But these kind of talents, these freaks, they didn't just write music for themselves. They wrote hits, monster hits, for several other people. So that's part of their catalog. Big O, that's a good point. It may be the reason music today is so low quality. It may not just be an opinion. I'm telling you, as a music fanatic and watching and following this business, it's a terrible business now. There's the motivation to be a musician is not the same anymore. And COVID also did a number on live performances was their life's blood now. And now it's no longer a life's blood anymore. Now that's become a problem because we have facilities closing down. Then it requires more money to hold all the events because of all the COVID things that you have to go through. And then for bands on the road, it costs more money to be on the road because of all the other things that are going on. You know what I mean? And then everything else is going up. We got inflation all over the world, not just here that the feds are already targeting 3 interest rate hikes for 2022. England just also, their folks just also raised the rates because obviously something's got to pay for all this free money that you've been giving out. So we're going to have to pay the piper now. And that business is paying it in a big time way, man. Big time way. They used to get more royalties before the downloads came in the late 90s. Yeah, man, of course. Now it's bad now. It's really, really bad. Neil Diamond wrote all the Monkees songs. Well, he was part of it with Neil was part of the group of musicians that wrote those songs. It was all under Don Kirshner. Don Kirshner is the one that was leading not just Neil Young. Leon Russell was part of the people that wrote the music for the Monkees. I don't know if you know that. So it's not just Neil was part of that. Glenn Campbell was in that group of people in the early days writing music for Don Kirshner. And then when the Monkees, got too big for their britches and they said, no, we want to write our own music. And they looked at him and said, you idiots, we wrote all your hits. And no, we want to be our own musicians and write it. Oh, go ahead. And they never had another hit again. And you know what Don Kirshner did? He then put together the Archies as a cartoon, and Sugar Sugar, which was a hit, that was going to be the Monkees. That was going to be part of their next album. So, that group that Don Kirshner had writing music wasn't only Neil Diamond. Was Leon Russell was in there. Glenn Campbell was in there. Like, they were nobodies in those days, and they were writing music for other people, all kinds of people, not just the Monkees, but you might be helping out all kinds of other bands at that time. You know what I mean? Writing music. Kirshner had a group of musicians that I forgot the name that they had for that band, for that group of players, but it's a fantastic story. Not just the big names that were all in there in their early days writing music for other people, man. It didn't matter if you were, one of these 60s psychedelic bands or whatever. You had certain musicians that were writing stuff for you. And you're right. Neil Diamond was one of those. Glenn Campbell was one of those. And Leon Russell was part of all that stuff. But it was Don Kirshner was the guy that was in control of the Monkees, in control of all the musicians that were part of writing all that music for the Monkees. You are correct. Let's see. What else do we have here? Carole King also wrote some of the Monkees music. Yeah, it was a whole group of, I don't know how many of them, but all kinds of great musicians. That's what they had back then. They had that well of talent, and they would kind of unearth all that stuff. The Wrecking Crew. That's it. Thank you, Troy. The Wrecking Crew. There you go. Ernest says, just sampled When I'm Gone by Dirty Honey and love their high lead content, which rivals that of Greta. Yeah, they're an old soul band, but new. The singer is outstanding, dude. And you got to see him live. Live, he is a badass, dude. He sounds great. The band is super tight. It's only 4 guys, and they have a huge sound, man. I love Dirty Honey. I'm a big fan of Dirty Honey. Really good young band. So check it out. Put Dirty Honey out there, and you will definitely love it. Ray says, Don Kirshner Rock Show on ABC late Friday nights. Oh, the memories. Wrecking Crew, great documentary on Netflix. Yes, it is. It's a phenomenal documentary. You should check it out for those of you. If you like music and you'd like to find out about the ins and outs of all that stuff, and watch the Monkees documentary so you can find out the story behind the Monkees and all that. Because they were like Menudo in a way. They put together those guys for their looks and all that stuff, not because they were musicians. In fact, most of them didn't really know how to play the instruments. They had to learn how to play them. And then they made all the music for them, and they learned how to play those songs, and then the rest is history. So, yeah, I'm with you there. All right, we are out of here. We got to wrap it up. Appreciate all of you out there, as always, for keeping it locked here on the program. We thank Steve Calabro and Frank Fiore, and, of course, the Brunetti family, as always, great supporters of our program. Sean Stanley, sir, excellent work by you. Appreciate you. We will see all of you tomorrow. We're going to be out at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. So come on out and say hi. We'll be out there at Pembroke Pines having some fun, talking some sports. We'll have a loaded show for you all out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.